Cheers, queers! What's on the big gay agenda today, Theora?
Today, we are going to be starting the final episode of Pluto the series. So this will be a scene-by-scene breakdown of episode 12. We made it to the last episode, everyone.
It's the very last one.
It really is. And you know what that means? That means that we are coming close to the end of our giveaway that we mentioned many months ago about how long do you think our notes are going to be total for all of Pluto the series? So if you haven't had your guesses in yet, get them in now because we're doing a big gay energy merch giveaway for whoever comes the closest, basically.
Yes. And even if you guessed already, put them in again, just so
multiple guesses are fine. Yeah, we don't want to miss them. We will go back and check through our comments, but get your guesses in because that'll be soon. Any Kaitlynn, do you have any directions for how we could contact them if they win? Because we're not going to be able to announce it on the episode. If they submit it on YouTube, how do we get a hold of them if they won?
How did we do it before?
It was Patreon because that was easier.
Yeah, I guess they were also on Patreon. That's a great question. Maybe some YouTube channels have an email attached to it, so I can look in your about section. So if you have your email addressed.
How about this? When you put your guesses in, if you've already guess again under this episode, and in the comment put in how you would like us to reach out to you if you win. Whether it's
if you want to give us
account, whether it's another social media account we can DM you at, or an email. I don't know if you want to put an email address in a comment, but just put some way we can get a hold of you if you win, basically.
Yeah.
If you're a Patreon member, don't worry about it. We can find you. But if you're you're
just say Patreon member, and even if you were historically one, I can find you.
Right. So get your guesses in. How many total page numbers do you think this is, and how you want us to contact you if you win? So social media handle, an email, whatever you feel comfortable putting in a comment.
I would caution against the email.
I would too.
Yeah, because of spam and people. You never know who's on the internet. So
absolutely.
If you have another social media account, that's probably the best way to do it.
Yeah, agreed.
We're on all the things.
Literally everywhere. So just come find us, or just put your handle. We'll come find you. And the platform.
Yeah. And if you want to join our Discord and make it even easier, you can just give us our Discord name. Your Discord name.
That's true.
You know ours. So if you want to join our Discord, the link's in the description.
All right, cool. So that's one of the last plugs for that. So happy guessing. I'm very curious to see what you guys come up with. Okay, and with that, we'll move on to our corrections and clownery segment. It's been a while since we filmed, so we have quite a few. So we'll start with Patreon and Michelle G, who is the OG for being this is how long this shit's gonna be for Pluto. So Michelle G is commenting on how long episode 11 was. So it was a total of 4 parts, 11 hours, with the hospital scene split into 2 parts from 2 different point of views. So it was about an hour, maybe not quite. I'm only halfway through part 3. I'm just assuming part 4 wraps up 11. You've exceeded my expectations. Well done. Michelle G, that was our whole goal with recapping this series. So I'm glad we made it. That means everything.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. All right, our next one is from Kayoshi, and they said, I think the unknown number was because May said she lost her SIM card at the airport, and she called using Tan's Wi-Fi. Not sure how the Wi-Fi calling apps in Thailand work, but my guess is that it works like an IP phone assigning the caller a temporary number. And that is extremely fair.
Yeah, that was such a really good point. I forgot to connect those dots. So thank you. So that's why Paul got the unknown number from May when they have contacted each other previously. So that was an excellent sleuthing, Kayoshi. That makes total sense. Thank you.
Which means May had to have memorized his number.
It just makes May shadier. I'm sorry. Everything just makes her shadier to me. Oh my God. Well, I don't know. Maybe she had him saved in her phone somewhere else, like in a notes tab or something. Who knows?
Yeah. She's like, definitely don't forget this.
Oh my god. That would be funny if she memorized it. All right, then White Cat. This comment's directed at me. I also hate puns. Thank you, White Cat. We are not alone. I appreciate that. And then White Cat writes, this made me want to show with Jan and Jim from Gap the series. ... That might be too much big gay energy. Honestly, yes, but it would be a glorious television show and like the ultimate comedy. Could you imagine Jan and Jim? Somehow they would be friends. Like Jan is like Jim's fortune teller.
That seems like the ultimate comedy name too, Jan and Jim.
Jan and Jim. Like, it was so fucking funny. I'm here for that. They're both Child Flanoy novels, so it's not far-fetched that they would interact. Truly.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Excuse me. White Cat continues. Paul was at... Oh, yeah. And this is in reference to why. Why was Paul at the courthouse when was confronting May? And White Cat writes, Paul was at the courthouse because he's a secret criminal. We just never got into it. Honestly, like, when are the men ever good? So, like, you're probably right. Let's be honest. He was wealthy, but we don't know how he got his wealth.
It's true.
It's true. There could be something nefarious. We just never got into it because he was not the focus. That's so valid. All right. And then last comment from White Cat is in reference to my bold statement that all Taylor Swift songs are about So White Cat sent me a challenge, which is, Theora, can you oomify the song Peter? And yes, I can. Okay. So if you've never heard this song, it's basically a like take on the Peter Pan and Wendy story. If you're familiar with that. So Peter Pan is like the boy who never grew up, basically. And then Wendy meets him as a young girl in Neverland or whatever the hell they live. And like basically she outgrows him and matures and becomes an adult, and he's the forever child. There's a metaphor in there if you really want to get into it, but I'm not going to. But anyway, he's the boy that never grew up. Anyway, so for me, that song is totally about because it reads like point of view about and I's relationship. And so I'm going to give you some lyrics and how that ties in. So the lyrics are you still a mind reader, a natural scene stealer? I've heard great things, Peter, but life was always easier on you than it was on me. So to me, this sounds like admitting that I is more charming and a better people person. And feels like everybody loves I more than her because of that. So her life is harder for me. And then the other lyrics are, and sometimes it gets me when crossing your jet stream. We both did the best we could do underneath the same moon in different galaxies. So to me, this is admitting that she has the inferiority complex towards I. And because of that, they live completely different lives, even though they live under the same roof, like underneath the same moon, but we're in different galaxies, living different lives. And then the chorus too. This transitions into the chorus where it says, and I didn't want to hang around. We said it was just goodbye for now. You said you were going to grow up. Then you were going to come find me. And that repeats like 3 times. And then ends with words from the mouths of babes, promises ocean deep, but never to keep, never to keep. To me, this reads like point of view of her fallout with I when they were kids. And then it's her like looking at it in hindsight as an adult. And this kind of like sounds to me like the culmination where we get that cherry at the bar scene. Basically, where like was like waiting for I to grow up and get her shit together one day so they could repair their relationship naturally, but it never did. And so she had to intervene and was like, words from the mouths of babes, promises ocean deep, like you promised me the world and like I never got it from you kind of thing. So it is about
You did it, Theora. You truly did. White Cat, I hope that met your expectations.
Hope so. Because all the songs are about They are.
All right, I'll give you one, Theora, if you want.
I can try to do it on the fly.
All right. How about you do wood?
Oh, I don't want to do that.
Okay, then don't do it. We'll go to YouTube. And under our episode 11, part 3, we have Prodigy CPS 8871. And they said, Notice how much bolder May's makeup in the car when she's with even in flashbacks, compared to when she's much more casual and less guarded with even from the start.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So these comments are going to read are from our like episode 11, part 3. So like taking into account like the flashbacks and stuff. So yeah, that's a really good point. But also like have to take into account that like when she was with she was also like blind and like even though she did take time to put her makeup on, I feel like some days she didn't. But you're right. It's makeup can be a metaphor for like hiding, deceit, or like a type of armor for women to like emotional armor kind of thing. And I think that was your take, and that's a good read. I like that. All right, next we have Nora 11.08, who had 2, so I'm going to read them both. And this is from our 11 part 3 episode. I agreed that the way phrased it made it sound like murder suicide. Yeah, like that was some fucked up shit, man. That's so dark. Okay, but her whole posture in that scene was screaming danger. These are facts, Nora. As for the book version of events, Kaitlyn's reactions are my reactions too. That book is like opening Pandora's box. That book is something.
It's wild, man.
It was insane. Especially when I was like, why does May have a gun? Yeah, why does May have a gun? Anyway. Nora's second comment. For me, the confrontation scene, I think this is at the river with all 3 of them, is all about the sun, parentheses, the center of the solar system, and Pluto, parentheses, the exiled planet. Yes. Ooh, I like this already. Always wanted to be the sun in I's universe. Damn. Okay. Nora, first of all, why are you always so good at this? You should have your own podcast. This is so
I know, right?
Okay. Always wanted to be the sun in I's universe, but she was always Pluto. When she met May, she thought she was finally the sun, but at the end realized that I was May's son, and once again, she was Pluto. When she finally got what she wanted through Paul, she lost it because of May. When she woke up from the coma and realized that May was I's son, and once again, she was Pluto, that was when she decided to be selfish and claim to be the sun in her sister's universe. And she does that by emotionally manipulating and guilt-tripping I. So when I chooses her, she is finally the sun, and May gets to feel what she felt. She's Pluto in I's universe, and in her mind, that is justice. That is very valid and a phenomenal read. I think Chao Planoy would pat you on the back for that.
Yeah. That was really good, Nora.
No, I agree with that.
Our next comment's from the Slayer King 666, and they said, I believe Theora is right about the first meeting between them, but it ends with her accepting May and liking her, because I think May would take all the scorn thrown her way and answer all the question. The reason I think this is because the scene at the end of episode 12 shows how happy she and are with them. And if she didn't accept her, she won't be happy for I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, we get to a place of acceptance with everybody eventually. It's like everyone's trapped in this endless cycle of just hurting each other. Like they all hurt each other, like all of them. And even when if you get down to like Nima and stuff too. It's like not that people were being malicious and intentionally trying to hurt each other all of the time. It was like they just were in this never-ending cycle of like, I'm doing what I think is best, but I'm hurting other people as a consequence of that, even though that's not my intention. And so, yeah, I like that. I agree with you. I think that like acceptance kind of had to be the ending, and like true acceptance where people are like happy for each other, like you said, Slayer King. So, thank you. All right, and then continuing with YouTube, we have some comments for our part 4 of episode 11, where Progeny CPS 8871 says, in reference to me and Kaitlynn, they took around 5. Oh, no, not reference to us. This is about filming of Pluto, where they write, they took about 5 hours recording the river scene. I would have thought it would take it more, to be honest with you.
I really thought it would be more, because that was a long part of the episode.
Absolutely.
That had been multiple pages of dialogue. And that's insane that they did that in that little bit of time.
Right. This means that they didn't have many takes to do stuff, which makes, again, film scene more insane. Like in execution, like insane in a good way, like that she pulled that off flawlessly, basically, which good for her, because then she doesn't have to revisit whatever the hell she was going through to get to that scene where she's like breaking
Yeah.
down. You know what I mean? It's probably for the best that she's so good at that, because then, oh, that was rough. But yeah, props to them. They pull off miracles with like no time, honestly, like in this Thai girl love, which is
They really do.
It's amazing and also sad. They like, imagine if they had the time, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like give them our timelines of things.
Seriously, like
sometimes years.
Give them Hollywood time frames. That would be nice. See what they can pull off. But it is a testament to everybody that works on these projects how insanely good at their jobs they are.
All right, our next comments from the Slayer King 666. And they said, also in defense of May, I've represented people like Batman or worse than Batman. So for May to have the courage or just the willingness to help their victims that they themselves screwed over, to me, it shows a level of commitment and kindness that I myself have never shown. I was either too much of a coward or didn't know what I could do to help them. So I give her all the props now. I know it's a book, so I don't know any lawyer that has ever done this, at least nobody I knew of, but I still give her props of the courage that took.
Yeah, that's valid. And again, May learns the lesson of like fighting in her own way, and I feel like this is part of her character arc and her growth. Mm-hmm. But you're right, that did take a lot of courage to do that. Especially when we get to this episode and we see what happens when Batman finds out. We'll get there, don't worry.
Yeah.
All right, and last and certainly not least, on our episode 11 part 4, we're going to conclude this with Nora 11.08's comment, who writes, being with someone who doesn't love you is a profoundly lonely, painful, and draining experience. Again, always nailing it, Nora. It's like waiting for a ship at an airport or holding on to broken glass. Because if you have to ask for love, it isn't there. And that holding on can destroy your self-worth. I think that is what Paul realized. I hope he realized this. But when it comes to choosing between family and romantic love, it involves balancing deep-rooted obligations with personal happiness. Yes. And while family represents unconditional lifelong bonds, love is also a conscious choice that fuels future and individual happiness. So the best situation is finding a partner who becomes family, because having somewhere to go is home. Having someone to love is family, and having both is a blessing. But life, just like people, isn't fair. And when you have to choose, it's a brutal experience. Not only because of your choice, but because you're going to have to live with the consequences of that choice every moment of every day. Yeah. Yeah. And it's really shitty when family ideally should represent unconditional love, but it isn't always that either. And that's another element of like life is unfair, because it should be unconditional, but sometimes it's like super conditional. It's like you have to follow all of my rules or I disown you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, although those are just facts, Nora. Well said.
Nora, you're so wise.
You really are. Once again, thank you everybody for writing in for our corrections and clownery segment. Really appreciate you for keeping the conversation going. And keep writing in your thoughts. We love reading them out and getting to know what you guys think as well. And with that, we will jump into episode 12. So episode 12 starts with a flash forward. So we open up 1 year later when I published another novel called The Story of You, or Your Story, aka the OST, and a nod to Playing Song from Affair, which is the thing that ultimately connects I and May at the end of the novel. So I like this spin on it that the screenwriters did, and I think honestly it works better because they're connecting through stories versus like a musical artist. Because Chow doesn't know why they love each other at the end, but
yeah.
Anyway, so when the episode opens, Ai is reading the book out loud, recording the audiobook so that her novel is accessible for the visually impaired. And I think this is really sweet, and I love that she's doing this.
Yeah. Because, like, it just shows the impact that May had on Ai and just, like, how much she's learned by being with her. Because May is no longer blind. Like, she's not doing this because, like, oh, maybe May will read this book and she's going to need this. Like, no, this is just her being aware that other people have needs to be able to enjoy the same media that like she's publishing.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. Also, there's something special about the author reading it sometimes. Although sometimes voice actors are the way to go, and they're fucking talented as all hell. Okay, so when we start this, the part of the novel that she's reading is the dedication page, which basically she shows that she dedicated the book to, quote, a love so valuable we were willing to let go. That's how she opens it. And then she proceeds to name May directly in the dedication, which to me is really interesting. So we know from the beginning of this story till now that I's basically inspiration for becoming a novelist, it was May, right? Like the first novel, The Value of Love, was written because of May. And now here we are 1 year later, and I think this is like maybe her third novel, or I can't really remember if this was second or third novel, but like she's published multiple books at this point. And here she is like still dedicating the books to May. But in the first novel, even though like she had May and she wrote it and like physically gave it to her and she was like, where's my reward? That kind of stuff. She didn't name May in the dedication page. But here we are later where she's literally naming May. And they're not on speaking terms right now. So I do wonder if she's getting more desperate for May to find and read her novels, that she's literally like naming her in the dedication page. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't think of that. I thought it was just weird that she was naming her in general because, and like I get that people do this, but like I feel like people are just reading this like, who the hell is May?
Well, yeah, I mean that, but also like if picks this up and reads it,
yeah, that's true.
She does. That's what I mean. Like it's like really weird when she's like has to stay away from May and not have contact with May, that she's like naming her in the dead. So like it reads as like a desperate calling out directly to May to be like, I haven't forgotten you, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I mean, it's her book. She can do whatever she wants. It's just like it's interesting. All right. Anyway, so in the dedication where she's specifically talking to May, it basically reveals that I chose to be May's Pluto again. Not forgotten, but back to orbiting like the rest of the planets in the solar system. And in a way, I is saying that she still loves May. That hasn't changed for her even 1 year later, but she is not crossing paths with May. So basically, in summary, 1 year later, I is still in love with May, but she's adhering to her commitment to to like not see May, basically. And she hasn't contacted May. I guess you can count this as contacting May, but not really.
Nah, I don't count it as contacting May.
All right. So after we talk to I, we then catch up with and all of I's friends, apparently, and is doing art therapy. Good for her. And she seems super happy and engrossed in it. And we also get shots of Kasol, Jan, and Pang, who are facilitating this class, which is really sweet. And honestly, Jan would be amazing at this as like an art therapist. And like, I'm not convinced that Jan is getting paid to be here. Like, Kasol works for May, so yes. But like, I feel like Jan volunteered and is just being Jan, and then the Pang is there to hang out with Jan. That's my headcanon.
Well, Jan would do anything for and I feel like this is her way of being close to
That's also true
right now as well.
That's also true. Even though Jan is hanging out with other people in this shot, not but
she truly cares about people in general.
But I just think she'd be a great therapist.
She would be.
But you're right. Jan is ride or die, so she would be there to help So I agree. So during this, we get a voiceover from I. And it's been a while since we've gotten a journal entry from I, but here we go. We got another one where she basically explains that has received treatment for her PTSD because deteriorated after that ultimatum, which is where we left things off a year ago. And then we cut to a flashback where I wipes out on her motorcycle and is like clutching her elbow. So like she's not super hurt because girl wore a helmet because safety first.
Yes, wear your helmet when you wear these damn scooters. Just do it. Believe me. from personal experience.
Yes, you should always wear a helmet on a motorized vehicle. Yes, so I wore her helmet, so she's fine. And luckily, this happens right in front of Mima's shop. And so Mima runs to check on her, screaming, I, are you okay? And then I grumbles really loudly, I almost died. Who spilled the damn oil? And then
Okay.
appears. Oh, sorry.
Hold on. So we got a couple things right now. So like, first of all, Mima is like rightfully freaking out. And like she's probably having her own PTSD right now from the night that she thought it was I in the motorcycle accident instead of Ben. And
True
like
story.
she almost had a heart attack. Or did she actually have a heart attack? I don't know.
No, she did not have a heart attack.
No. I didn't think so, but in my head she did.
No, she did pass out, and then had to take her to the hospital.
Yeah.
But I don't know that we found out what happened to Mima, like specifics. But you're right; it could have been a heart attack. I don't think it was, but something happened. But Mima did not take it well.
Yeah, Mima was very upset about the fact that it might have been I.
Correct.
And so like that whole thing is probably playing in her head. And then like I is not helping anybody in this situation by yelling that she almost died. Like you can't say stuff like that when everyone has so much death trauma around her.
But that's just I completely fine. Hence why she says that, because she's being a cheeky bastard. But it goes over poorly with all the trauma everyone has endured.
Oh my god.
But yeah, that's a good point. All right, so after those two exchange their dialogue, then appears, completely triggered by the crashing sound, because she didn't see it. She heard the crashing sound. And then the I almost died. So then runs in and hugs I and cries that she's scared. And I and Mima are so confused about why is overreacting, because I is standing there completely fine. And I tries to calm down to show her that she's fine, but it doesn't get through to and she insists, it's not true, it's not fine. And she's hyperventilating and hugs I again, and she's holding her like a lifeline, and then said, I'm scared you'll die and leave me. And I think that like trauma is all compounded. So this is a product of the car accident and also the funeral stuff with like her placing the blame of like her parents' death. Whether that's, I don't think that's a conscious thing anymore. I think it's a subconscious thing. The same way that like the accident is like a subconscious thing as she's like dealing with that.
Yeah. This whole scene, like I completely understand how is feeling in this moment, because I don't know if anybody could tell from our reaction videos whenever a car is involved, but I also have PTSD because of car accidents since I've been in one since I was 9. It's been multiple. But anyway, there was a time that like my mom got hit, was like in a hit and run. She was a hit and run off the road by a drunk driver. And I saw it all happen in my rear view mirror. And then the next day, I almost got in an accident on my way to like a show I was in, and it sent me into a panic mode. And when I got there, I was like in a full-blown panic attack for 3 hours, and no one could calm me down because I couldn't reach my mom. And for some reason, my brain went to that she was dead, got into another accident, something happened, and that's why I couldn't reach her. And like, anyway, this is just me saying my qualifications for analyzing this specific scene. So
thank you, Dr. Kaitlynn.
Yeah, thank you. It's important to note that like is not reacting rationally at this point. Like there is not much that can be said to her to get her thoughts to stop jumping to bad places. Because like her mind is either replaying the night she lost Paul, or at least the feelings that she has felt from that time. And like you said, it's not only Paul that contributes to this PTSD, because cries to I'm scared you'll die and leave me. And Paul isn't the only one who dies from a car accident. Her parents did as well. And like, although she wasn't there to witness the accident, those feelings from losing them have compounded in her brain because of the combined trauma of that and being in the car accident with Paul. And like ultimately here, her fear of losing people she loves is being triggered the most. Like that's her biggest worry in life, is being left alone, I feel like.
Oh yes, absolutely.
This poor girl.
It's
Like,
also
she's
like,
not okay right now.
it's being alone, and then it's also losing people she loves, because that's the other commonality is
Yeah.
like she loved her parents, she loved Paul. Or losing people that love her as another way to phrase that, because yeah. She doesn't know that she loves Paul yet. We'll find out that in a minute. But yeah, that's all super valid. Like, yeah. This is just, it's one of those things where your brain takes over and imprisons you in a way that's like awful. So then I and Mima, who are witnessing this, look helplessly at each other. And there's this realization that Mima and I have after this incident. And like when they're looking at each other, that really reminds me of, for those of you that have seen Heartstopper or read the novels, like in season 3 or volume 5, I think, the famous scene between Nick and his aunt, if you watch the show, and his mother, if you read the novel, where Charlie's going through his like mental health crisis and Nick is trying to be the supportive boyfriend and try to like help Charlie as much as he possibly can and fix it. And then mother figure basically sits him down and says, love cannot cure a mental illness. And that was one of the best scenes in the history of anything. It's incredible. And like that to me was like that exchange between Mima and I. It was like, we can't cure needs help that exceeds what we can offer her, kind of thing. Like, I think that's why we're getting this flashback right now on the cusp of so we had in art therapy, and then we cut to this, and I think this was the moment when like Mima and I were like, she needs help, like a professional help. Like, our love can't cure this, because like they sacrificed everything at this stage to like support Like, I gave up May. Mima has been sacrificing the whole time for the family, but like they're collectively doing that. I think this is their moment of being like, oh, our love is not enough to like fix this. Needs help.
Yeah. That's a great point.
All right. So then after we have this scene, we cut back to the present where I is at the rehab center and probably there to pick up I would assume. And she's talking to therapist, I guess. It's a woman in a suit. I'm assuming she's a therapist based on the dialogue, but it's never explicitly said. And the therapist, I think is a therapist, tells I that is making progress. She seems a lot more emotionally stable, and the occupational activities like the art therapy seem to be helping. And is able to focus completely on the tasks, which was not the case when she first arrived. So good for you, And I smiles when she's hearing that. So I think that it's like relief to hear that is getting better. And I think I is also proud of her sister for like working so hard on this and like making progress like that. Okay, so then after I collects they go back to Mima's for lunch or breakfast or dinner. I don't know what time of day it is. And I does the big sister thing where she serves food and tells her to eat more. And then smiles because food is love. And then sweetly does it back. So this to me is demonstrating that at this stage, the twins have repaired their relationship and things are back to the way they should be between them. They've moved on from the past and have rebuilt the trust that was broken between them. And you can see that love flowing freely now between the two of them. And I think Mima knows that too, because she's watching fondly as these two do their thing and then says, well, you both need to eat more. And so like the family is back together is like this scene, which is really cute. And I love it.
Yeah, they all look a lot closer now, too.
Yes. They look like a family, like a healthy family, basically. And then this whole like food is love cycle repeats itself, but then Mima's the focus where like the good girl gives Mima some food and is like, oh, eat more, grandma. And then the rascal is like, do you want me to feed it to you, old lady? And then Mima threatens I with a knuckle sandwich. And to your point, in summary, the family's back together and everyone is being themselves. It took us long enough, but we're finally here. And that's nice to see.
And I love to see that Meemaw is like bantering with both of the twins.
Yeah, it's cute.
Because it's usually just like we don't see, she's more like gentle with but like here she's kind of treating them as equals, and it's just very cute.
That's super cute. All right, so after the food banter, Meemaw changes the subject to Ai's new novel and asks when will it be released? And Ai comments soon. Her editor is setting up a book launch event. And Meemaw's reaction is everything. She's so freaking excited and calls Ai a superstar. And let's take a moment to hydrate for Ai, because she worked her ass off to get Meemaw's approval. And you finally got it, girl. And then after this, congratulates Ai and then says she also has an announcement and gives no further details, and then like walks out of the room, to where Ai and Meemaw are super confused because they have no fucking idea what the hell is gonna say, like the wild card. So then runs away and then comes back.
Can you pause here real quick?
Yes.
Oh, anyway, just the looks that Ai and Meemaw give each other after says that she has an announcement is the cutest thing. But the look that, like, not cute, they're comical, because like they're like, what you have an announcement, what? They're not expecting this whatsoever. No. And then the look that Meemaw gives after runs away is adorable. Like, she is so happy about, like, yeah, just she's like, what is happening? Like,
I know.
This girl, like, what's this girl doing? But she's so happy, and it's adorable, and it's just so nice to see Meemaw happy and not like with the weight of the world on her shoulders right now.
Oh, absolutely. And it's really telling that Meemaw, when she hears that has an announcement with no other words spoken, is happy and not like dreading whatever is going to say. So that says a lot about how has been, like, condition at home has gotten so much better that people are not like instantly worried about they're happy for I think that says a lot about where everybody's at too. Yeah,
just Meemaw looks so much lighter and less worried.
Absolutely.
I mean, they all do.
Oh yeah, for sure, because therapy. All right, so then comes back with a new flight attendant uniform because our girl's headed back to the sky. So she's ready to go back to work, which is great. And Meemaw is so overwhelmed that she bursts into tears. And rushes over to be like, oh no, what's wrong? And I was like, God damn it, you made Meemaw cry. What the hell, But to your point, Meemaw is so happy to see is back on her feet and is, quote, the old again. And what a huge moment for Meemaw. She did her absolute best to raise these two twins on her own, and she struggled day to day to feed them and put them through school. And then hit rock bottom, and Meemaw and I stepped up to help her over the past year. And Meemaw must have been so worried and scared to see her adult granddaughter, the good girl, struggle like that. And now here's making progress and is well enough to go back to work. And also, not just Ai is also a successful novelist on the cusp of publishing another book. So to your point, it's like Meemaw can finally relax now, like 30 years later. Like, she raised them well, and they're all doing okay. And they all can like independently take care of themselves. Like, it took Meemaw so long to get here, but like, it's like, we did it. We did it together. Like, the world was against us and we did it kind of moment.
Yeah. But I'm also a little worried about this scene because says sorry for always making you worry to Meemaw, and her face looks upset. And like, I fear that she is going to worry all the time now that her mental health is being a burden on Meemaw. Because like the way that Meemaw says she wanted to go back to being the they knew before makes it so that may worry about showing Meemaw that she isn't okay. And like we know recovery isn't a linear line. Is going to have moments where she goes back to that bad place and not be okay.
Yeah.
But I'm worried that she's now going to be alone once again during it, like out of fear of showing her family that she is having a weak moment. And you know, I say, well, definitely not projecting my.
You're
own
definitely
fears,
projecting.
Your
That's
Honor.
all I can think of right now. You're 100% projecting on you. That's okay. I also have projected onto and not a lot of people liked my projection onto And to that I say, you have never had that heartbreak before, and good for you. But yeah, no, I can totally see that from your point of view, that is kind of always going to think about, because like the thing is like, yeah, like you can get better from trauma, but you're not, again, all too well, right? The Taylor Swift song, I'm trying to be my old self again. I'm still trying to find it. Like some events change you irrevocably, and then you will never be who you were before the event. And I could definitely see that for like that. All that she just went through, like will change her forever, in good ways and in bad ways. Like that's life. And so you're right. This may be one of those side effects forever where she's always kind of going to be worried about. But like, to be fair, was more of the people pleaser when it came to Meemaw before the accident. I mean, it was like, but again, with and there were two events really. It was the Paul stuff, the May stuff, but also their parents dying. The parents dying also changed the two of them forever. So after
that's like the root of everything, because that's happened when they're younger. Like that's stuck in their core memories.
Correct. So like after the accident, who was was the people pleaser for Meemaw. And so like here we are in that situation where she's like, I'm sorry for making you worry about me. That's the people pleaser in her. That was the consequence of the parents dying. So like, yeah. So this kind of is the old in a way, but like she was going to be on this trajectory no matter what. But you're right. There's an added layer to it now of like, will she be worried I'm going to like go hit rock bottom again? That's like on top of like the parent trauma that changed her behavior, and I's behavior also. It made I the one who's like, I need the sacrifice for my family so nobody dies. Like they were both changed. They just had two different responses to that, really. And that's what made the twins ultimately different. Or made their differences in a contrasting fashion where you can notice them enough, but they do have a lot of similarities. Okay, to your point. So after after apologizes to Meemaw for always making her worry, Meemaw hugs tighter and says, "You're my granddaughter. I'm always going to worry about you." Which, again, that's the family support, right? It's like, we're in this together. We are a family unit. This is another evidence of like the family healing and them talking about this stuff. Because I feel like a lot of this support stuff was unsaid between all of them. It was very much like that. I'm the eldest of the family, like, you know, the elder. I'm in charge as Meemaw. I'm going to do what's best. And that was the whole Meemaw putting the money away, sacrificing her health for the kids, that like I noticed and was like, what the hell are you doing? You also have to stay alive. But like, here's Meemaw being like, we're going to support each other. It's kind of it got more like, it got less like, do what I say, and more like, they're equals. This is an adult granddaughter. You know what I mean? This felt more like unconditional love versus conditional love, like back to Nora's comment at the beginning. At least that's my read on it. Because it's like,
that's true.
You know what I mean? There seems to be more of a back and forth, not just a one directional like dialogue to this. Which is different because like everyone's repaired the relationships, essentially. This is the acceptance phase. Okay, so after the sweet moment, I asks well, when does your new job start? And replies, soon. But before it starts, I want to go somewhere. Can you take me there, I? Again, being all fucking cryptic and shit. You should not be cryptic.
Are we gonna get the book scene? Just kidding.
What book scene? Oh
the book
God.
scene where
Oh my God. Yeah. No, again, the screenwriters took that novel, said what canon, and then changed it up. Just like us. Thank you for doing that. All right. So then after that, we flash forward to and I at the fateful river at night. And
So
tells
close.
I, why must we always be here at night?
Because it takes forever to get to, Theora.
It takes forever to get there. Probably not even in Thailand. We never get the location. I'm just speculating. All right, so tells I that the reason we're at this place here today is that Paul loved this place because it was where agreed to marry him. And she also explains that Paul would have done anything to make her love him. We know, like anything. And he would wait for her no matter how long it took. And then it cuts to I, because I relates to this, right? Because her mind at this particular second just leapfrogged to May.
Yes.
Yes,
Definitely.
we all know that.
Yeah, like no matter how much time passed, I would be thinking about May and waiting for her, even if she doesn't think she can be with her.
Because, like, yeah, no, she's like, I will love you forever, no matter how long it takes. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so then we'll back to who's actually talking. So now, 3 years later, admits that Paul finally succeeded. And then she says that she loves him. Okay, so here's the deal. So, like, why did this take 3 years? Because needed therapy to process her feelings, to move on from all the things that had to do with May, and to process her feelings for Paul, which she couldn't fully do because the May stuff was driving her crazy. And as somebody who went through what went through emotionally, not actually with this death by the river shit, it also took me 3 years. So this is real. And basically in that time, like, and when she was reflecting on all this and processing it, she fully embraced her feelings for Paul for the very first time, like fully, like bits and pieces got through to her, but fully now. And so she can now say with 100% sincerity, I love you to Paul. And then assures Paul that she has people that love her. She has I and Mima. What about Jan? Jan also loves you. Why we keep forgetting Jan?
Honestly, Jan does not deserve. No, doesn't deserve Jan.
No one deserves Jan.
Jan.
What about Jan?
Put so much into and takes it for granted so bad.
She does. She takes Jan for granted, which
Jan
is such a crime. Constant. It's a crime. Jan get Plutoed by what the hell? Yeah, I kind of did emotionally.
Yeah, emotionally, and like emotionally is the same as physically.
Yeah, basically, yeah. She just got Pluto. Yeah, Jan loves you. You keep forgetting that.
I hope Jan one day is like, bitch, I'm right here. I've always been here.
Seriously. But apparently Jan doesn't count. But Jan counts. We have to point that out. Jan absolutely counts. And Paul knows that Jan counts because Jan was there. Okay. But continues. People love her, essentially, and he doesn't need to worry about her anymore. And to me, this is getting closure with Paul and moving on from her heartbreak from this relationship and saying essentially like, Paul, it is also okay for you to let go of me if your spirit was still wandering around, fixated on me. Like, it's okay. And then I chimes in and assures that Paul is happy knowing that you're doing so much better. And that's I also projecting because she's speaking as somebody who also loves and is happy that she's happier.
Yeah, because I'm sure Paul's actually thinking, why couldn't it have been 3 years ago?
I know. Because therapy, Paul, sometimes she wasn't ready to be in a relationship. And you knew that. And you're like, you know what? I'll just love you enough for the both of us. And like, we'll do this old school. Well, you'll love me eventually after we get married. And that's ridiculous. I mean, unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. But like, at what cost? The cost of your own life, Paul.
If he could turn back time. He
Wrong
probably still did the
author.
same thing.
Okay. So then after I says this, smiles, but it doesn't quite reach her eyes. And then she asks I, what about you? Are you happy at all?
What a loaded question.
Yeah, it's so loaded, I doesn't answer it. She breaks eye contact with and gets real lost in her own thoughts. And I think it's a good thing that I doesn't answer because it shows that I is done lying to protect or whatever. But she's not really hiding her true feelings here. Like, they're very much written all over her face, but she's just not gonna lie to about it or minimize it. You know what I mean? Like she was doing.
Yeah, like the silence says all needs to know about Ai's happiness.
Yeah.
But also there is a tiredness still to like Ai's eyes. And you can tell like she isn't as okay as everyone else in her family, but she's still putting on like a happy face for them. Like, because she is happy with them and happy to know that they're doing better. But she's still not happy because she doesn't have everything that she wants.
Well, yeah, because a part of her heart is with May right now, so she's not whole, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I guess her entire heart. She left the necklace that symbolizes her heart, so. All right, so after that, we then head over to the courthouse where Ben, Casol, and May are leaving the courtroom looking real happy. And it's nice to see Lawyer May is back in the swing of things and winning cases, which makes everyone happy, except Batman. And as a typical man in the patriarchy, he naturally cannot express his feelings with words. So he shoves May into a wall and then accuses her of going behind his back and sending her lawyer friends to represent Ben in that civil case against him that May threatened, discussed with her father in a previous episode. Well, that threat came through. That decision came through. The civil case is going on, and it's not turning out in Batman's favor. Shocking. And Boss Bitch May is back in full swing because she says, oh, I wasn't hiding my involvement in this at all. I'm glad you finally fucking figured it out, bitch.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah. And Batman unwisely keeps running his mouth and bluntly threatens May with a lawsuit in front of his own lawyer, who's like, Your Highness, you can't actually do that.
Yeah, like you can see the lawyer in the background like does not have any power in this scene.
No, he's barely visible.
Like, he's kind of like afraid of both of them right now.
Look at the way they block the lawyer. Like, the lawyer is literally shrunk behind Batman. You barely see his face in this scene. He has no power. So, anyway, basically, in summary, Batman is butthurt that his privilege as a rich man didn't save him from another lawsuit that he is clearly going to lose. So instead he's trying to degrade and intimidate May in front of witnesses. And May very calmly explains to this mouth breather that she can have him thrown in prison just for slandering her. And also, like, she's got multiple witnesses. So I wonder who's going to win that lawsuit, bitch. And then May decides to get on her soapbox of morality and preach to Batman that sometimes the law does bring justice and your number's up, bitch. And then Batman decides to try to punch May in the face. And then in the span of 3 seconds, 2 things happen. One, Casol physically stops him. And Ben records the entire thing on his phone.
How did Ben get the phone out, first of all?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
It'll happen so fast.
I love that he takes a page out of May's book and like starts filming this.
Yeah, this is a very May thing to do.
And then if you just look in the background, the lawyer is just shaking his head no emphatically.
Yeah,
it's just getting ignored, and it's hilarious.
It is.
You just watch the lawyer in the background because he has no power. He gets no lines. So like he's trying to act with his body and face, and it's hilarious.
There's no such thing as small roles, guys. This is a great performance. Love the lawyer in this scene. Because yeah, this man is not paid enough to be this Batman's lawyer. He's severely underpaid, this man, for the amount of work he has to do with this man-child. Okay. So with the phone out and recording, I assume, Ben finally gets his moment to shine and take down the motherfucker that stole everything from him. And Ben's like, go ahead, Batman, do it. See this phone right here? It's got a camera and the internet. And we don't need a jury to determine you're a piece of shit. I'll just leak this video to Twitter right now and let the people decide. Is Batman a hero or a villain? And just like
video.
Huh? There's probably no video.
There is no video.
Yeah, it's just like May. There's no video. and just like that, Batman versus May and friends is over. And Batman and his severely underpaid lawyer walk away. And then my favorite part of this happens is then the gang celebrates in the cutest way when Ben and Kasol offer their hands to high five May, and it's so awkward and cute, and I just love it.
Yeah. I don't even know she was offered a high five before.
Right, I think this is May's first high five ever, and it's really cute.
But I love Kasol's air punches too, like being so happy about how everything went down.
He's so fun. I love the actor that played Kasol. He did such a good job as Kasol.
He did. He's such a complicated character.
He is weirdly complicated and also simple, but he's cute. I love Kasol in this show.
And Ben smiles.
Yeah, Ben has an emotion. Gotta get that's 3 we found in the whole series.
They're usually happiness, but
yeah, or he's happy or he doesn't have an emotion. That's kind of Ben's normal state. Okay, so after the celebration, Kasol remembers he has something to give May, which is Ai's new book. And once he whips out the book, all the happiness drains from May's face. But May is still wearing the Pluto necklace, so she still has Ai's heart. But then she starts smiling and flips through it. And Kasol and Ben look at each other like this is all part of their master plan or something.
They look like school kids plotting something when they give May the book.
They do.
And they're like, yes, the plan is working.
Exactly.
And she starts smiling at it.
And then May, oh May, you haven't changed one bit. May then has the audacity to complain that this copy doesn't have the writer's autograph in it. And it's like, girl, this was a free book. Come on now, just take the book out. Why must we complain?
Yeah.
Right. It's a year later, May is still May. Just have to point that out. And sweet, wise Kasol says, oh yeah, if you want that, you're going to have to ask the author yourself. And May's face falls a little bit because she's not confident that I would sign the book if she asked. But why does May feel this way? Well, we find out by going back 1 year in time after the river reunion disaster. When sad girl May wakes up in her room the morning after, like real slowly as if all of that was just a bad dream. And like, if only that was a bad dream, girl, we wouldn't be here for like 500 hours talking about this.
I know, right? But she's once again waking up alone in bed. But at least this time it's not unexpected.
No.
But surely she should be used to this by now.
You would think. That's why she's probably like, maybe it was a dream, because here I am alone without Ai, which is normal, unfortunately. Okay. But once she realizes that that was not a bad dream, she then leaps out of the bed, desperately searching for Ai. Meanwhile, Tan was sleeping in the chair in the corner, watching over May all night. And when, like, the good ride or die that he is, and when she runs to find Ai, he sprints after her and stops her because, girl, you cannot. And May frantically explains to Tan that she has to leave now. She has to go see Ai. And then Tan tries to calm her down. But May is super insistent. She's like, I have to change her mind because May will never give up on Ai. This is like the one thing she wants more than anything. Understandably so. And she's like, oh, never willing to give up fighting for Ai like fighting specifically, because like I taught her how to fight. She's like, I'm never gonna back down. Or will she? Because Tan then is like, wait. Before you summon the war council over this, you need to read Ioun's diary. So sometime in between May's kidnapping and May waking up just now, I stopped by and gave Tan her journal and left Tan with a cryptic message that May would understand everything after she finished it.
Tan's always having to be in the middle of everything.
He's tired of this lesbian nonsense, honestly. Like, if he never wants to be around queer people ever again, I would understand, because this was a lot he didn't ask for. It's always Tan in the middle, like always. And not in a sexy way. He's just in the middle of all the drama, you know what I mean?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
The conversations that must happen off screen between Tan and Ploy, where they're just like venting about this. You know what I mean?
I want one scene of that.
That would have been amazing.
Oh, just these random one-off scenes I would have loved for like the comedy aspect of it, of just like explaining what's going on to other people.
Like, imagine, because like clearly he didn't go home. Think about his 24 hours. He was at work, probably, gets some message from Ioun, I assume, and then runs into his car to chase. He's like soul searching I's phone. So he's tracking I, who's tracking May, who's kidnapped by and he's going all over Thailand to get to this river at night. And he shows up and his cousin is having a nervous breakdown and he's like, is she gonna end up in the river? What's happening? And then he has to console his cousin, who's inconsolable. Then he's like, I obviously cannot leave her alone, because he's a doctor and he knows that would be a terrible idea. And he's like, I gotta stay vigil over her tonight to make sure she doesn't off herself or worse. He's doing this. And maybe he had plans with Ploy and probably had to be like, hey, Ploy, we'll have to meet up later. I'll explain another time. Then all this shit happens.
It's always May.
Right. This shit happens. He meets up with Ioun, gets a cryptic message, then gives it to May. Eventually this ends and he gets to leave May and then like has to explain to Ploy what happened. You know what I mean? What was that conversation where she's like, I'm real tired of you ditching me? It's like, listen, I had a good reason. Let me explain my evening to you.
Like, I did not want to be there.
Nobody wants to be there. But yeah, that would have been amazing. More scenes with Jan, period, would have been great. And then a conversation between Tan and Ploy off screen. Would have been amazing.
I'm picturing Ploy just having popcorn and like eating it as he's telling her and be like, and then what happened? Because like she didn't want to hear in the beginning, but then she got into it.
Ploy's probably like, I feel like we need wine for this conversation.
The A empties the bottle. That's what I mean. Halfway through the story,
she thought she needed it, and then like as he's talking, gets a bigger glass and pours it out and gives it to him.
No, like she pours herself into a glass and just gives him the bottle.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Like she's like, oh shit, like you needed this more than me. Oh my god. Okay. Just shout out to all the friends / family members that get taken advantage of. Not advantage of, but taken for granted, i.e. Tan and Jan in this scene. I mean, in this series. Because, like, without you, your ride or die would have died. Let's be honest. You did so much. You're the real hero of the story. Anyway, okay. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, I love how Pang was not included in that.
No. Well, Pang just because Jan's puppy dog.
Yeah.
Was she ride or die for I? At some point, I stops talking to her friends. So, like,
that's true. I mean, there's a lot that Pang could have told.
Pang could have been the Jan to I, but like Pluto's Pang, like towards the beginning of the show, and like never really reconnects, at least on screen, with Pang in a meaningful way. They have drunk sessions together, and that's about it.
Which are hilarious.
And I that's amazing. But anyway, I feel like there's a level of codependency between, this is where and May are similar. There's a level of codependency between and Jan and May and Tan that I does not have with Pang. Like, yes, she's her confidant, but it's not a codependency the way these guys have codependent relationships. And it's like one-sided codependent, like parasitic in nature, where like one person benefits more. Ping and I have more of like an equal kind of
that's very
friendship. True. It's not codependent.
Yeah, no, the other relationships really are parasitic.
They're parasitic. Yeah. Okay. So then after Ton explains all of this, May then gets out of her pajamas, gets dressed, takes the journal, and heads into her office to read it. So she had to like actually like be a presentable human being to read this. I would just read that shit in my pajamas, but like that's May for you. I guess putting on her fancy clothes is like putting on armor to steel herself or whatever the hell this is gonna be.
But also, I love I's diary. Like, it's so cute, and I love the title of it. And like, it's like a book in itself. And I think like this could be her next book that she publishes with all of these stories in it, because it's wild. Thanks, Shao.
It's definitely wild. My read on this is this journal is actually the first novel she wrote, May. She just didn't realize it. So I agree with that. Okay, so when she's in the office, alas, we get the origin of all of Ioun's voiceovers, which was May reading the journal and hearing the words in Ioun's voice, which I think is interesting. I don't know. When you read stuff, do you hear the words in your brain in different voices, or is it like in your voice?
It depends, actually. I think when I'm reading stuff like this, and it's like real life, I think it's my voice. I don't think it's the other person's voice.
So when is it in a different voice?
When it's like fan fiction, I think. And then I can like hear like the characters' voices.
So you already have to know the voice, basically.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that real people don't read in different voices. Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't think when I'm reading a letter written by somebody else, I don't hear it in their voice. I hear it in my inner monologue.
I'm also not really reading letters by people.
Well, like when you read a text message, that's reading. That's like modern letters.
That's true. No, it's only when I'm trying to like just say for a tone. And like then I might try to read it in their voice. But not typically.
Yeah, me neither. Not typically. I have to like consciously read something in somebody else's voice. It's not an automatic thing for me. But anyway, now this scene makes me laugh. I know it's a dramatic scene, but this part of the scene makes me laugh every single fucking time, because when May starts reading the journal, the very, very first thing in the journal is I vividly describing her first kiss with May. There's no preamble. There's no nothing. She's just straight into the kiss, like immediately. That's what's in the journal. There's no like, asked me to do this insane thing today. No, there's just
no explanation for it.
Like, that's where the journal started. Okay.
I didn't think of that.
Yes, we must think of that because it's fucking hilarious that that's where this starts. Okay, and like I assume May read every other entry that was a voiceover that we've heard from I throughout the course of this series, which honestly must have been enlightening and validating for May, because it's like I chose her written words to express her truth, because May never got the full truth from I directly, like verbally when they were having conversations, but here it all is laid out in written form. So that's why I think that like this journal really is the first novel that I wrote for May. And to me, that kind of demonstrates that like stories, whether they're fiction or nonfiction, because this is like a version of nonfiction, right? I's journal. To me, that's May and I's intimate language, in the same way that in Love Design, the series, like art was the intimate language between Rin and Akbab. Like, to me, it's like stories are the intimate language that connect I and May.
Yeah.
And then eventually May gets to the end of the journal where I left a message explicitly for her. And we kind of get like a shot of don't know if this is I's memory or May conjuring what she thinks happened, but basically I is sitting at her desk writing this down. And this had to have been the morning before she dropped the book off, which again, she dropped the book off the morning after the river scene. So like that means that all of that happened. I gets home. She puts Mima and to bed, cries her eyes out, clutching the solar sibling book, wakes up early, then writes this. Because in it, she explains her decision, why she walked away. So like it had to have been that quickly that she wrote this. Yeah. And in this message where she addresses it to May, she goes on to explain that basically, I love you. Like, you're my princess. And May will forever be the princess in every fucking novel she writes. She's like, you're my heart. You're my everything. So this is I opening up, assuring May that she's like, I love you. That hasn't changed. And then I goes on to say that May is competent and strong, but isn't. And I'm with you on the strong part right now because is not okay. But like competent? Was competent really the best word to describe as not being competent? Like, you're the writer. That was a weird adjective to use, I think. I feel like is competent. It's just
she's definitely competent.
Not okay.
What I get from all this is that I still sees her sister as weak.
Yes.
And like,
yeah.
Which is something that does not want to be seen as.
I know.
And the whole thing in here is like I pitying May. Like, no. Like, if I is pitying anyone, it's
Yes, I agree. I is pitying
Very much so.
Very much so. So like, and I think that that's how I felt immediately coming out of the river scene and like the aftermath of that. This is like hours after that happened, right? Versus like when we leapfrog a year into the future, like I is in a different place when it comes to the May stuff. Yeah, she's still in love with May and all that stuff and like sad about it. But like, I think that her relationship with had time to like heal. They had time to like get to know each other as adults, which they never really did. And I think the pitying element is not there as much anymore. I think maybe that changed, but like this is hours after this whole thing happened. And so, yeah, I agree with you. I is very much like I pitied my sister, not you, which is why I did what I did.
Mm-hmm.
Competent was not the right word there, guys. But
no.
Anyway. So then I continues and says, if our love causes pain, then we can't be together right now. But please know this, May. I love you as much as a human heart is capable of loving anything. And if I had one wish, it would be for our story to end just like the novel you helped create. And at the crux of I's novel, The Value of Love, this novel, the value of love just isn't about being together. It's about having hearts strong enough to protect each other. So in other words, the value of love is not loving someone enough for the both of you. Sometimes the value of love is about letting them go to protect your twin sister's sanity.
The key here that she says, though, is that they can't be together right now.
Yeah.
And like, this sounds like she is giving May hope and is like probably the reason the two of them kept on living this past year and not like stuck in the past, because they're like just hoping for a time to come where they could finally be together.
Yeah, that's what she's saying. I is saying, I love you. I'm not going to stop loving you. It's just like we made a promise to each other that we wouldn't hurt each other. And right now we can't keep that promise because my sister is not okay. But there's the unspoken, if she is one day, then we can be together. That's what's being, it's poetry. She's saying it between the lines, right?
Mm-hmm. Also, like, it would kill to be reading this right now.
Oh, absolutely. If found this, I don't need, she would end up in the river. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she would be in the river.
She'd be in the river. So, all right. So then basically we see that I's bawling her eyes out as she writes this, and May's crying insanely as she reads it. And then we get a montage of their happiest moments together while your story, the OST, plays. And to me, I think that's fitting to have that particular song because I wrote the novel and the journal for May, and it's like it's your story, May. It's our story. So I thought that was a good OST like song to play during this, where it's like their story is playing out in its happiest memories.
Yeah. And like, of course, we have to get a montage. Like everybody does a montage. But what I do love about this is that they don't linger in any particular shot too long. Like, so it's just truly to help recall and like not just be filler for the episode. Because that's my main pet peeve is like a lot of people use montages just to fill the episode time.
Yes.
I especially hate it when it's in the last episode and they're like, let's go through all of this. I'm like, no, give me the story. Give me, you're wrapping up everything. Don't give me everything we've already seen. But they don't linger in it. And it's very quick. And so I respect this montage.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Totally okay with it.
And so after the montage, we cut back to May, who's reading this and sobbing. And May is really coming to a place of acceptance. And as I told Ton, May doesn't understand everything now and accepts I's decision because this reads more to me like, let's put, like you said, let's put this on pause and not break up rather than a final goodbye, especially because I then signs the last page from now until forever with a heart. So you can't, and also the way she's crying over this while she writes it, you can't convince me that that last page is not covered in Aya's tears because look at her just like bawling. Like, it's like May's probably reading this and there's like tear stains on it. And that says,
which makes it so much sadder.
I know it does. It's so sad. All right. So then eventually May puts the journal down and reaches for I's novel, The Value of Love, the final product. And May then, which she's read before, she's been reading it the whole time, and then flips to the end of the novel and reads the very last sentence. Okay. And this is some class A flirting right here. Because at the end of the novel that is published, I wrote in there from now until forever, which is exactly what she signed the journal. And that was her being like, and I think that's I's subtle way of telling May that although they can't physically be together, she plans to continue communicating to May through her novels, which she does. And I'm not sure if May catches that in this moment because she's actively grieving the situation. But in the present, I think that's why she was so happy that I published a new novel, because that's how I's going to communicate with her, even though they can't be together. So to me, this reads like a really extreme form of romantic letter writing. Like, you know, in the Loyal Pin where Pin and In are letter writing to each other, but Pin only had to wait like a month between letters. May has to wait like 6 months to a year for I to publish a new novel.
Yeah, I think it's a whole year, which is pretty fast in general, though. For novel.
Well, I don't know that was I's. That might have been I's third novel, not her second novel. So that's what I mean. Like, depending on how much if she's published 3 novels, that in the span of a year, she's like 6 months for novel 2. This is novel 3.
Also, she's doing nothing else with her life. I mean, like, good for her for being able to write that.
Hell yeah! But like, yeah, it's just this is an extreme form of letter writing where like May has to wait like 6 months to a year to get a response, and it's one-sided.
Yeah, it's one-sided, but like. It's a very long response.
It is. It's a super long response. But I think she's living for like the dedications. And that's probably why she's like, why wasn't this signed and personalized? But anyway, so this scene ends with May hugging the book to her chest and then hugging herself. And if you notice when she's hugging herself in the book, she does the thing where she rubs her own shoulders, like the way Ayun has done throughout the entire series to comfort herself when she truly felt alone. And so even though like May has this like vague reassurance by I that like she still loves her, it's like ultimately May has to be alone going forward. And like that is something she didn't want either, the same way didn't want to be alone, you know?
Yeah. Oh, my heart. Anyway, let's take a break from this heartache. And do some shout outs for our Chaos Crew on Patreon. Woo! Our Chaos Crew members on the Big A Ride or Die tier and above are amixmonzone_multi, BJR, Danny, Isla, Here for It, Jasmine O, Jill L, Cassie M, Kelsey S, Leona, we got to talk about that, Leona, but anyway. Michelle G, Monet F, Moving Forward Leading, Nancy D, Pooja S, Q432, Virginia B, Sarah B, and Worchipachin. Woo! And our featured Big A supporter members for this episode are Hamda A, Cackleberries, and Joy1001. Thank you so much for all of your support. We truly, truly appreciate it. We could not do this without any of you. And we couldn't do it without any of you listening and watching this episode right now, because we literally would not be here. Like, there'd be no audience. So
there would not be.
I mean, we might still do it just because, like, this is what we do. But
this is fun.
It's nice that other people are connecting with it too. And
absolutely.
So just thank you for consuming this media. And if you want to connect with us on social media, we're on all the things at Big Energy Pod. Join the Discord, join our Patreon if you can. Even just commenting and reviewing this podcast is helping support us. So we truly appreciate everything you can do.
Yeah, and follow us and join the Discord, if anything, so that you can guess about the page length number of our Pluto the Series notes, because what do you have to lose? It's just, you could gain free stuff. There's nothing to lose, really.
Yes. And you can also like message us like through social media channels too, letting us know your guests. Like, you don't have to do it in the YouTube comments. If you want to do both, like that way we have a connection with you already in case you win. That'd be great.
That'd be great.
All right. So picking up with part 2 of episode 12 of Pluto, in case you forgot what show we're talking about. May is sitting in the garden of treatment center reading Ai's book.
Well, and she's not reading it. She's sitting with it. She hasn't read it. That's important in the dialogue.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. She's sitting with the book and she smiles at the book. And she looks at the dedication, and it's dedicated to a love so valuable we are willing to let it go. And I feel like this is Ai's version of the saying, if you love someone, let them go. If they come back, it was meant to be. Or like something like that.
Yeah, basically.
And then comes out asking May if she hasn't read it yet.
Hold on. But May's face, I'm sorry, when she first sees makes me laugh, because the absolute hatred in her eyes. She's like, the scum of the earth has shown up. I'm sorry, just look at her face.
I know, it's hilarious.
It's hilarious. Sorry, I had to.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And then, all right. So May says she hasn't, and seems to think about May's answer and reads the subtext underneath what she means. May also like doesn't seem too surprised to see So like with ultimatum of Ai not being allowed to see May ever again, why is allowed to see her?
Because, well, yeah, I don't know. I feel like
because like she doesn't want May in her life.
She doesn't.
But she's allowed to see her. Okay.
Well, I mean, here we are in the rehab center of coincidence, because that's how they're meeting. It's because is being treated at the facility that May owns. And we'll find out why in the dialogue, but yeah. That was not in the fine print of the ultimatum. The ultimatum was Ai needs to stay away from May, not
It just seems unfair.
It is. But again, we're at the rehab center of coincidence, like the forest of coincidence, which is a thing in fantasy novels where you just end up in the situation where all these pieces happen to fall into place when they're on the road. That's what this is.
Yeah.
It's like the room of coincidence.
So sits down with May and asks her if she doesn't have time or if she doesn't have the courage to read it. And this makes May smile and respond sincerely that she doesn't have time. And she also, she also says they've been through so much that there isn't much she doesn't have the guts to do. Which is true.
Yeah.
Like, May isn't afraid to go after what she wants. But
no.
she's also the type of person to do whatever she wants.
Yes.
And I feel like if she truly wanted to read this book, she would have made time to read it immediately.
I agreed. I think she's scared and she's blustering a little.
Or maybe she just has better time management skills than I do. Because I would literally just like, if I wanted to read something, I would throw everything away and just read it.
No, May is definitely that type of person where she would make time for it if she was ready to. I don't think she's ready to as part of it. Yeah. Also, like, imagine reading that dedication so far. It's like, we let it go. Like, that's... I don't want to read that. Like, that sounds like a downer. You know what I mean? I don't want to be sad right now. I have to work. Like, you know, she knows she's going to be sad when she reads it and have a bunch of feelings. She's like, I can't. I'm in the middle of a work day, I guess, at my
it's
establishment. You know what I mean? Now's not the time to be crying.
This is like something that she reads alone in her room, in her bed.
100%. And then calls
and just
Tan,
cherishes it.
And is like, Tan, bring me ice cream or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like 4 a.m. and he's with Boy. He's like, God,
Tan has to be on the phone the whole time while she's reading it.
Right. Right. She can't be left alone when reading this. Like, alone. He has to be in the house engaged. Like, you know, she needs moral support. It's a whole thing reading this novel. So she's probably right. She doesn't have time. She doesn't have time to coordinate Tan being at her place on such short notice because she just got the book like this morning. So
yeah.
So, but good question, I would ask that too if I was curious.
But yeah, also fair because she just got the book.
She literally just got the book.
Yeah. She's like, I have to look at every detail of the cover and just smell this new book and like it's not time yet.
Also, we all don't have the privilege of living with the author and getting arcs. Like, got an advanced reader copy of this thing. And she's like, you haven't read it yet? And it's like, girl, you had it for like 3 months before it was official. Like, chill. Brag, why don't you? Because like with the first book, May got it in fan fiction form. She had it, she was able to read it the whole time.
Yeah. All right, so
anyhow.
May then asks if already knew that May owns this place because she didn't seem surprised when she saw her. And like, how big is this treatment center and how uninvolved is May that it took them this long to see each other?
I mean, like, if May just owns it,
yeah.
Why does she have to be here day to day? She wouldn't have to be here day to day. Unlike if she's doing stuff, it's like in the boardroom. She's not like physically here. She's not a therapist. Like, she just bought it. She threw money at it.
She learned from her dad.
It's like when you work at a big, fairly like a company. How often do you actually see the CEO? Like, if you're like that, she's the CEO. You don't see her. Like, she's behind the scenes. So the patients aren't going to see her. They're going to see therapists.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's why she was like, why are you unsurprised that I'm here? You have you wouldn't know that I own this place unless you like really dug into it, which we get our answer in a second.
Yep. Reveals that when she was sick, Kasol urged her to go to this particular facility for help because it was a, quote, one-stop service. And it makes it sound like a convenience store.
Yes, for your mental health.
Then brings up that it was questionable that, like, how it was questionable that Kasol knew a place like this existed.
I mean, this is valid. You're like, Kasol, why do you know so much about this place? You're a mechanic.
Yeah, it's fair.
It's fair. It's so fair.
Which is fair if they were close and knew everything about each other. Because it seems like they were closer than him just being Ai's friend. Because, like, in what we get, it looks like he's Ai's friend, but it does seem like a little bit closer to him than just being like, oh, that's my sister's friend. Like, I feel like she's friendly with him as well.
I think so, but I think it's through this rehab situation. But at the very end, you get the context of like Kasol's been in love with the whole time. So like he's into as the thing, But
That's
like, I don't know how much they were actually interacting until like all of this shit happened. And then needed, because probably what happened was I went to her friends eventually. It was like, oh my God, my sister had that breakdown. I just wiped out on my bike. Like, I don't know what to do. And then maybe he gave her some sage advice because now he's working with May, and May is establishing all these like one-stop help centers all over the place. And he was like, well, he probably threw out his wisdom there. He's like, she could probably use this like therapy or whatever. Like maybe that's how it started. And then he started interacting with more because he's working at the center, and like, because the writers were trying to set up something that they had a thing going on towards the end. And it's like, I don't buy that because Officer Hottie.
Yeah.
But the writers did try to plant seeds. And I think these are the seeds that I'm not following because I choose not to, because I don't want that.
I choose not to.
I want her to be with Officer Hottie.
I love that you keep it real, Theora.
I'm just keeping it gay. Not that Kasol doesn't deserve love. He does. It's just, he should, be with somebody else. He should have been with Paul, really. We've been over this.
Yeah. Yeah, his love is dead.
But yeah, I think they're definitely, they're establishing that they got closer. Her and Kasol got closer during this whole year situation, over the past year.
But like brings up that it's questionable that he knows a place like this existed. Like, but who knows? Like, she doesn't know him that well.
That's what I mean.
Kasol could have gone through something in this, like in the past, and like that's how he found the place. You don't know.
I think that establishes that they don't know each other. That line, like you're saying. Because she doesn't really know him, so she's just on face value. He's like a delinquent, like I was, who's like a mechanic, and she's like, "Why do you know so much about treatment centers?" She's like, "That's suspicious."
Yes,
because she doesn't know him.
But like you brought up, like pieces together that he was working for May to make amends for what he did, and figured it was May's facility, which I swear is a huge leap because Kasol didn't mention May at all. And like, I guess you could assume that May has an association with this place, but I would never assume she owns it.
Yeah. I don't know if there's ways to verify that, like on the internet. Like, I don't know how Thai business laws work, if like it's public record or not, that would be searchable. But I think she's like, well, Kasol knows May, and May is on some holy mission to like put good karma out there by doing things like this. I wonder if there's a connection.
Yeah, because is book smart. Like, she can figure out puzzles and stuff.
Correct.
Like that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So since knew about this before getting treatment, May asked her why she decided to still come here. And apparently it was because wanted to know if May was happy. And like, so has been secretly watching and stalking May this whole time?
I think she used Kasol to spy on May, is what they say. Yeah.
But May's eyebrow like twitches, and it seems like she's surprised that cares if she is happy. Because May would never.
No, May would never. Absolutely no. No, May would never. May would have. I'm surprised May didn't deny her care.
Oh my God.
Well, you know what? It's in May's best interest to make sure that gets better, because the faster gets better, the faster she gets So like, that's why she's probably like, Kasol, get her over here now. Get the best doctors in the world.
Like, this girl's not okay, which means I can't be okay.
Right, exactly.
Because my love's not okay.
Right. This is our version of May. It's just very self-motivated. Anyway.
Which is a read. It's all definitely about how you read the characters.
It's a read. It is a read. It is a read that developed hardcore for me going through all of these episodes. It's such fine detail.
Yes.
And reading the novel again, that also skewed my view of May, because I forgot how horrible everybody in that book. Everybody in the novel is horrible. All of them.
See, the thing is, I got this without reading the novel.
I know, but like,
and I got to this
May
point
is awful.
Independently of Theora. We just happen to match up. And that's not always the case.
No.
But it happened. I thought I was out in left field too.
No, but seriously, every single novel character is awful. They are all awful. Like Kasol is awful in the novel. They're all shitty, like horrible people. All of them. All of them are bad. Even I is fucking a monster, a little bit of a monster in the novel. She gaslights her sister over a credit card statement.
Yeah,
Like they're fucked up. All of them are fucked up. Like
not ruined, but like
humans are fucked up.
I love this I so much more.
Human beings are fucked up, man. That's life.
Yeah, it's true.
That's life. It's not good and evil. It's not simple. People are not simple.
No, not at all.
People don't tell the truth. People lie more than they tell the truth. Like it's just like that's pretty real. Like
yeah, that's what makes the show is showing us.
Exactly.
Saw that I has not been happy this whole time, and that shows like still in tune with her twin despite the happy face that I is putting on, which like we've seen in the past. Like knows I, like she can tell how I's actually feeling despite like what she actually says and does. And honestly, I needs that because someone needs to understand when she isn't actually okay.
Yeah, because I never went to therapy, even though she should also go to therapy.
She definitely needs therapy.
I know.
Mima needs therapy too.
So does Mima. Mima also needs a friend that she can talk to that
Mima needs
3 generations younger than her, you know?
Could you imagine if Grandma Bill was here to be with Mima?
Yeah, I want the grandmothers to all be friends and play like mahjong together and like have a
and that's just like a limited they're all limited series, but like even just like a short series of the grandmothers all together.
Yeah, just like complaining about their granddaughters.
That is the epic comedy.
I know. I want to call
it. What do you want to call it?
No, go ahead.
I just of like them talking to each other and just like sharing their stories of like what their grandchildren are like up to, and then be like, "You think that's crazy? Just don't even talk about these twins. I can't even."
I'm gonna call it the Golden Girl Love. Like it's just like the Golden Girls, but it's yeah. Let's do it. I want elder women series really badly.
Yes, maybe next year will be like the year for that.
I hope so.
If we just keep pushing it out more, talk to more Tiger Love people, and just be like, "Hey, get the grandmas together."
Yeah, let's do some grandmas.
Okay, so May does not seem comforted to hear that I isn't happy, which, yeah, she doesn't want I to be unhappy because she still loves her. But May, to be fair, like this also proves that she meant what she wrote and she still loves you. So like Correct. That's confirmation for that.
Validation.
And we get a quick flashback to the last episode when I was crying during the night when she was in the same room sleeping with Mima and And we get the reveal that actually woke up during this and saw I crying, which is so sad.
Yes.
How do you handle that? You go and hug her. You hug her. Just saying. But she did not. Back to the present, we get confirmation that came to the facility to spy on May, and she also asked Kasol to keep an eye on her.
Can we talk about that for a second? Mm-hmm. Like the fact that had Kasol spying on May. So I think that this is proof that if the roles were reversed, we asked this question way back when, if the roles were reversed between the twins, okay, and it was I who was asking to cosplay her and go break up with her side piece or whatever, that would have been a much better spy than I was, because May didn't realize that she was being spied on this whole time. That's confirmed in this scene, that is actually sneakier as a spy and would have been the better spy. So that is actually canon in the show. I forgot about that till now.
Yeah, that's true. That's awesome, actually.
Good job, Think about it. She's a flight attendant. She's like airtime. She would have been a great spy, actually.
Yeah.
Like post-therapy. Probably been a great
post-therapy.
Mm-hmm.
But like the reason that she goes into the facility was to spy on May.
Yep.
Which is not the reason to go into treatment,
It is not. But you know what? Sometimes you have to lie to yourself to get into therapy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she did get better and receive the help she needed. So like that's something at least.
It's not even get the help she needed, because when we open this episode with I talking to the therapist and she's like, "Hey, your sister's doing better. She's like able to like immerse herself in the experiences now. And she's, you know, participating fully and doesn't get distracted by her emotions." It's not that got help. Actually did the work.
Yeah, she did.
Is the thing. Like, she took it seriously and actually did it. But like, if you have to lie to yourself to get into therapy and just be like, I don't need therapy, but if I'm spying on whatever gets you in the door and like engaged with it is the key. Like,
because subconsciously, I think it was also her wanting to get better.
Right. No, like, that's what I mean. Like, exactly. Like, she was not picking the specific facility. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And people, at least, I don't know what it's like in Thailand when it comes to this kind of thing, but like, if somebody medically is deemed to have decision-making capacity and they need help, the patient can be like, no, and then they don't get help. Like, you know what I mean? The patient has to be willing to do it. So like, if had to lie to herself to like be willing to do it, like whatever gets you help, like whatever, tell yourself whatever lies you got, just go get the help. Like, and she got it. So that's, as a medical provider, I'm like, whatever got you in the door, it's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
like,
true.
Because people are complicated and do shit like this all the fucking time. So, you know, this is actually real, dealing with people with decision-making capacity. They have the right to make bad decisions. It's their life. So anyway, that's my soapbox.
Well, thank you for your soapbox. But also with her asking Kasol to spy, that means Kasol is Tan here. So now Tan and Kasol can bond over something. And when tells May that she didn't seem happy, May looks away and doesn't say anything. And what can May say, though? Like, she knows that she hasn't been happy. Like, she can distract herself with work all she wants, but she wants I in her life, and it's the one thing she can't have because of the person sitting in front of her right now. Like, that's a suck. It would be like, you're the reason right now that I can't be happy, and I can't even be selfish right now. Okay, so is surprised because everyone is being honest with her, and she tells May that she could have just been meeting up with I behind her back, which I am sure is what May wanted to do.
Yes. Oh, I'm sure she thought about that every night.
Yes.
Like multiple times a day.
But she knew I would never go for that. So
Correct.
She stayed in her lane and kept I's wishes.
She knew I would not go for that.
Yes.
May would absolutely go for that.
If I brought it up and was like, hey, we should go still see each other, May would be like, yes, let's do it.
May would be like, I am outside your house.
It's like, I have been outside this house for a
whole
year now.
Time. Yeah, no, 100%.
Also asks why everyone is giving in to her so much. And it's almost as if wants them to fight back.
I think expected to be betrayed is the thing, because that's been the pattern, right? This whole episode is a year later, we broke the cycle finally. And so the cycle has been somebody getting in the way in this triangle situation. Somebody is getting in the way of me being happy. Everyone, it's the Spider-Man meme. Everybody kind of felt that way about somebody else at some point between May and And from point of view, she's like, I get betrayed over and over and over again. So I expected you guys to betray me when I made this ridiculous request, but nobody's betrayed me and everyone's being honest. Like, nobody's lying to me and being like, oh yeah, I'm happy about this. It's great. No one's actually lying. I's not lying. They're just not engaging with the questions. You know what I mean? Neither is May. May is doing exactly what I did, which is like, are you happy? Not answering the question, but like, I look like a sad puppy, you know, just like I.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think just expected to be betrayed. And she's like, why didn't you guys betray me? That's been the pattern my whole life with everybody I love. Like, why now? I guess is the question.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And May says that is because she promised I that she wouldn't bring her pain. And if them being together meant would be hurt, then how could I actually be happy?
Yep.
So basically, May is saying, I don't care about you and your wishes. But if
Yes.
it hurts I, then
Correct.
I respect it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She's being like, basically, I love your sister and only your sister. And if it hurts her, then I can't have her. So therefore.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what May is saying.
Yeah. Again, I feel bad for because up until I actually being with May had more of a relationship with She knew better than I, and I don't understand why May can't see that.
That doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Like, yes, they were not compatible as romantic partners, which is fine. But yes, I'm glad you brought that up, and that must keep being brought up, that May actually knows and May didn't actually know I at all. They met once for 30 seconds. That's not the same thing. Again, this is this is the fiction element, the suspend your disbelief section, like part of the story.
Yeah.
I think she just fell in love with I's fighting spirit, and that's really what it was. She didn't have to know her. It was just like, I wanted that fiery, brave person that was confident. And then was not that, because needed therapy for years. And was told she was weak. And like, they again, to your point, I still treats her like this pitiful thing. And it's like, no wonder she acts like, she's like, that's what people tell me I am, you know? So anyway, we've been over that. I won't, rehash that.
All right. So sits back with this information and just really takes it in. And she seems to be internalizing the information May gave her, especially the part where I wouldn't be happy doing what she wants if it meant it was going to hurt So now is realizing she is hurting I because she is the only reason I isn't going after what she actually wants. And I think this is enough to show that I loves her and does choose her, meaning
Yes.
And like, is also processing that everything is going the way she planned, but she isn't happy like she thought she would be.
Yep.
Because she finally got I to fully choose her. She got I to not be with May and got May out of their lives, technically, even though she's at the facility.
I know.
Anyway,
we'll
ignore that part. But nothing is right because everyone is still unhappy, including her. Because ultimatums don't work out, There's always going to be like something like the other person had to give up, and then like it's not going to be full. I don't know. It's just they don't work out.
I mean, what the ultimatum did is it gave the separation so that healing could happen. That's what it did. Like, yeah, it was insane, but like in the context of the story, like the ultimatum allowed Mima, and I to repair their relationship, which had been imbalanced since the parents died. You know what I mean? It like gave them the time to like be a family because I was not distracted by May. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they wouldn't necessarily have had the same bonding time if May was like in the picture and like I was with May all the time.
Yeah.
So it was insane and crazy, but like narratively, I think that's what it ultimately facilitated at like I and May's relationship's expense, basically. Because will come to say that here. She's like, I basically got all the love I wanted from I because we had that year together. Because they were robbed of years of their sibling relationship because of like the bullshit that happened between them when they were younger, so.
Yeah, that's incredibly fair.
I think that's what it facilitated. True. But was it right? No, but like that was the outcome.
Yeah.
So.
And May seems to understand why is not happy. And she's trying to lead to the realization by asking her what is actually her happiness. And looks towards I's book, and this is to tell us that her sister is part of happiness. And there's no way she can be happy fully if she knows her sister isn't too. Ooh, and they figured this out because twins are very similar and care about each other and the other's happiness. Like, it's just they're both the same.
Yeah, like, and then I like that quotes the book. Because, like, yeah, you're right. Her happiness was always I. And like that was very explicit throughout the series in the flashbacks from that they gave us about I. She always loved I more than anything. Except when she basically gets depressed and then goes into her being selfish, where she's putting herself above everything, and that's what causes this big imbalance, right?
Yeah.
But like her response to May when she's like, she asks herself, do I love enough to let go? Which is like basically the thesis of I's book. I think that's like the crux of like fully recovering, because she was her ability to ask herself that question. Like, because I think she's talking about like in her reverie, like her past with May and I, and the way she felt like betrayed. So she's like, do I love enough to let go of like the past, basically, because the past is what's been festering, all the stuff that happened.
I think she's starting to realize that she needs to let I go because she loves her and wants her to be happy.
Right. Do I love enough to let go? Like, do I love I enough to let go of my past and like the stuff that's been weighing me down and my feelings about it? Do I love enough to forgive, is what this is, like forgiving May. And yes, people out there would be like, well, I saw some comments we got where like people are like, well, you learn right and wrong when you're younger. I'm like, yeah, it's one thing to learn a lesson. It's another thing to be in the situation and have to actually do it, because people don't always do the right thing. Like, yeah, you're supposed to forgive people, but like some people hold grudges forever over stupid shit. Like, yeah, and you're supposed to forgive them, but people don't always do that. Like, people are
it's easy to look at situations that you're not actively
not in it. Yeah, exactly.
And be like, oh, this is exactly what you should do.
Correct.
But when you're the person who's
in the situation, right, it's different.
There's so much that takes over. Like, there's the fight, freeze response. There's so many other things that are going on in your head. There's one-sided experiences going on. Like, there's much that is affecting how you handle situations.
The biggest thing is emotions, which are not rational. Like, we're watching this not in their emotional states, being like, well, that was bad, that was dumb. Like, a child knows not to do this, which children are not rational at all. That's a terrible example. But like, yeah, because we're not feeling her emotions in this scene. We don't have her trauma. We don't have her PTSD. And like, yeah, we're looking at it as a third person who's not in the situation and can be like, that was bad. But like, we're not And the whole point of this is to like, at least what we're doing is to be like, think about it from her point of view for a second and like understand the motivation. It's not to agree or disagree with what the character does. It's just like, understand what brought us here. Like, why is she doing this? Like, why? Because really, like, what is right and wrong? Like, anyway, that's not the point. This is not a story about morality at all. At all. Like, nothing of everybody's a bad person, because like people are a mixture of good things and bad things. Like, and it's just like shit happens. And like the question is like, why? Why did it happen? Think about it from Jan's point of view, and things are interesting. Like, it's just this story played a lot with point of view to get you to hopefully think like, oh, like now that I'm seeing this from another person's point of view with their emotion, the emotional context of what they were feeling, it changes the narrative. Because like, if you're looking at it from somebody else's point of view, you're going to read it differently than if you read it from the other person's point of view. And that's what I love about Pluto. So they made that very, like, that's how I view media. I do that. I'm like, what is this person thinking? Like, that's how I think about it. But like, not everybody does that in the moment. They're just like, you're usually, if you're just casually watching, you're with the point of view character that like the writers are telling the story from, and you're usually swayed by whatever they're feeling. Like when you first watch this, you're like, wow, Oom's terrible because you're in May's head. And then when you switch, you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Is she a monster or she was depressed? Like, you know, so it's not so simple is kind of the thing. But I'm glad we get this scene between the two of them because like they're the one, ultimately this can't end until these two resolve their situation because like the catalyst of this explosion between May and was May and really to begin. It's May and they're the ones that kind of like started the downfall of everything was the two of them meeting, right?
Mm-hmm. That
wasn't the intention of them meeting, but that was the catalyst for how we got here because like that's when the misunderstandings started happening and like I mean it was really Ai's fault, but like for wearing the uniform, but like still like it's them really. They're the crux of the tension that still exists. And the situation now is that has to forgive May. Because I think there's a level of like I'm going to use the word respect when it comes from May. That like she at least respects enough to not go behind back and try and court Ai. You know what I mean? Like she respected the ultimatum even though it like harmed her the most. You could argue. And that's what is kind of grappling with because she was like, based on everybody's past behavior, I expected, and including my own, I expected you guys to like side piece me again. You know what I mean? She's like, that's what I expected. I expected to be betrayed. I expected you guys to just pity me and like humor me to my face, but lie to me, but nobody did that. So like, I think that's an action demonstration from May and I to be like, we forgive you. Like, like in a way. And now has to be the one to forgive them for betraying her, mostly May, because her and I have buried their hatchet already. She already forgave Ai. Like they've had a year to recover. Now she has to forgive May. That's like the last piece of the equation. And like, that's what she's coming to terms with right now. She's like, do I love her happiness is Ai? Do I love Ai enough to let my vengeance towards you go? That's what it is, really. And she does get, she gets there now because she's gone through therapy and she's been able to process this and was like, is the grudge worth my sister's happiness? Is my residual hurt feelings really worth this? Or can I just let it go and like let her be happy and we can all move on from this? Like it's the last stage of her healing process is like the confrontation with May. And I think it's good that it had and narratively poetic that it happens at the rehab center that she's having. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Like this is the place that healed her.
Right.
And this is her like final healing.
This is the final piece of the healing journey. Yeah. And it happens here with May. So it's the rehab center of coincidence, but I think it's poetic that that's where this happens as the setting.
Also very convenient that May decided to just stare at the book at the treatment center.
She could be anywhere right now. And she's sitting very openly in the courtyard of this place. That's the coincidence piece.
Yeah.
But I like it. I think it works narratively.
It does. And says she started asking the question, do I love enough to let go? After she read Ai's novel and the prince and princess part ways to fulfill their duties even though they're still in love. And then apologizes for the spoiler and then tells May to finish the book. And then she will know what wants. Why do we have to be cryptic still about this, Like, just tell her what you want. Because personally, like, after the last line, I'm like, I don't know what you want, actually, from this line.
I don't think this is anything. I don't think this is what wants. I think so, like, again, the novel is Ai's way of communicating with May. This is the letter writing, the extreme letter writing. So I wrote the novel about her relationship with May, how she feels about it now. And like, it's for May, the book. So I think is being like, read it and you'll understand how my sister feels. That's what she's saying. It's not about Like, and knows that. Is reading this. She's like, wow, this fuck shit sounds real familiar. Why are they at a river having this conversation? You know what I mean? I probably did shit like that. And she's like, this is clearly about us. Because not stupid. And put it together. And she's like, my sister is clearly so pining over this woman and so very much in love with her. And there's like subliminal messaging that's not subliminal because I is not subtle and never has been. And so I think that's what is saying. She's like, you really need to read the novel because like it very much clearly states that my sister is still in love with you. You need to read. That's what she's getting at. Because I think she's trying to set up the fact that she's gonna forgive May and like go get my sister. And like you're what makes her happy. I need to accept that because I love her enough to let my grudge go. That's what she's processing out loud, because she's like, I realized by reading this just how much I really loves you. And the fact that I held on to the ultimatum thing despite that is like a testament that she loves me too. And like I hold the key to her happiness, like you're saying, and I have to learn to let it go. That's what she's telling me. Read the book. My sister loves you. That's what that means.
Okay. That makes sense. And that's the last thing that says to May before leaving May to think about what the hell means.
I mean, to be fair, May does figure it out what wants because she shows up at the book signing.
Yes.
So like she finds out through reading the novel that like wants her sister to be, because who knows, maybe the prince had a sister. Like, you know, why is that subtle? Like it had, like the story had to be very much based on true events.
It's very true.
All right, so yeah, your assignment out there, everyone, is like, what do you think I put in this novel that was very explicitly about their relationship? I think there had to be at least one dramatic scene by a river where the breakup scene happened at a river, because like she's not subtle. It happened at night too.
There's rivers, like that was the main setting of the book, is a river.
No, it's just the breakup. Like just the breakup happens at the river. Like the ultimatum went down at the river. Like like I did shit like that. That's my headcanon. But let us know what you thought. What was this novel about? Like, what did the prince have a sister that was also in love with the princess? Like, what did I do in this novel?
Great question. Just let us know.
Let us know.
All right. So May is left to think about what the hell means. And she's probably like, well, I guess I have to read this book now.
Basically, yeah. Gotta call Ton, get him over.
So we then head to the next scene. And Jan is placing the sign for Pang's plant shop. And when she turns around, and Officer Hottie appears, catching Jan off guard. And Jan is rightfully confused why Officer Hottie is here.
Yes, aren't we all? I'm surprised the writers remembered her.
Yeah, we get to see her again. Woo!
There she is.
So Jan's confused while Officer Hottie looks behind Jan at the sign that says, "Pick lucky plant tailored to your zodiac sign." So Jan is now partnering with Pang in love and in business. You're muted.
Can we talk about the fact that Jan and Pang are so gay that they've U-hauled their jobs? Like, that's so gay. Also, like, I'm sorry if I know in Thailand, like astrological readings are more like normal, but not normal, but like common amongst just people. But if this was in America, this would only attract queer people.
Yeah,
like only like just queer people. Like this would attract nobody else. So like if this was in America, this would be the gayest plant event. Like this is something you'd see at Pride. Like they'd have like a tent and they'd be like, get your zodiac, get your astrological reading with your plant.
Yeah, I'm thinking like they have to have like drag nights here.
Yeah. No, like this is the gayest thing they possibly could have done. And I love that for them so much.
Oh my gosh. So Jan sees her staring at the sign, is like, yeah, I'm helping Pang with this promotional thing. Did you want a plant? Because why else would she be here?
Officer Hottie canonically loves plants, so
yeah.
But yes, why is she here?
But Officer Hottie is here to see Jan, not Pang, which means that Officer Hottie assumed Jan would be here.
Yep.
Or she has her on Find My Friends.
She has
she forgot that she had her location turned on.
Jan would, let's be honest, forget. She probably gives that out to so many people.
Yeah, like, she's like, I don't care, I'm free.
Right.
Just come find me.
Like, she tries to order a coffee at the shop and she's like, I gotta go somewhere, just here, find me when it's ready. You know what I mean? She probably just gives that thing out casually to people. That's very Jan coded.
They then have this like weird standoff thing because Jan has no idea why Officer Hottie would show up to Pang's store and want to see her.
Valid, girl.
And after Jan brings Officer Hottie a drink, Officer Hottie thanks Jan for introducing her to May because she is an incredible lawyer and she also feels much better about her case now.
What case?
I know. This is the only info we're given about Officer Hottie's case. And I really wish we got more because I'm really curious about the details.
We had a whole case off screen, like that May was helping with, and we get nothing about this?
Like, screw Batman. I know he's terrible.
Right. What the fuck was this, guys? Piss me off. And then we just get the outcome in a sad montage later, but like, what case?
Yeah.
Poor Officer Hottie. That's what I mean. I'm surprised the writers remembered you. I feel like they forgot. They're like, well, shit.
But also, it seems like everyone has still been in May's life at some point this past year, except I.
Seriously. No, like for real. Like you're right. Everybody. What is Mima meeting up with May too? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I know, right? Like they have coffee every Tuesday.
Right. I still want their first meetings super badly.
No, like, Mima would never.
It's you. So you're
Mima begrudgingly meets up for coffee every Tuesday to check in. But that's also kind of sucky if I knows that everyone's still seeing May too. Because that really sucks for her. Like, her best friends are currently working for May, and I can only imagine how hard it is for I to be around them. Like, I hope they don't talk about their work around her.
I feel like she's the type that would torture herself with that, where she wants to know so she can torture herself with that information. That's awesome. Because we do get like a little scene later where like the reason Kasol gave May the book is because like I gave it to him to do that specifically. So like I think she does covet their connection because then when May gets it and smiles, like I's secretly watching. So like, you know, she's orbiting, not interfering, but she wants May to be happy because she loves her. So like if her friends can make May happy, I think I's okay with that. Because I loves enough to let her go, kind of thing.
Yeah.
This part was just random shit the writers made up with Officer Hottie. And then they did not think it through, and they're like, whatever.
Because she's Pluto, and we don't think about Pluto enough.
She's the most Plutoed person in the show.
And Jan is like, you didn't just come here to say thank you, though, right? And Officer Hottie nods and then tells Jan that everything has still been on her mind, and she wants to know why Jan ended up choosing to be with Pang. And you gotta love how direct Officer Hottie is with everyone.
I'm sorry. Yes, I do. But I love that she's asking this 1 year later because that weird thruple kiss thing did not straighten it for her. She's like, I still don't get it. You know what I mean? That's ridiculous scene. She's like, it's been a year. I still don't get it. Presumably that's the last time they all talked, you know?
Yeah, which makes even more sense of why she was so surprised. Well, no, she did talk to Jan.
I mean, she probably texted Jan, but like, I mean, they didn't talk about their relationship stuff since, allegedly, since that scene. So like, she's like, I still don't get it. That did not clear things up for me. I just think that's funny because that scene is so crazy.
It is so crazy.
It's so crazy.
It's just, that scene hurts my brain.
It does.
But going back to how direct Officer Hottie is, like, if she wants to know something, she is going to be straight to the go straight to the person rather than getting someone to spy for her or result to stalking.
That's so true.
Like, she needs to teach this to all the other characters, like every single one. And Jan tells Officer Hottie that she became a fortune teller because she wanted to know the future and she hates uncertainty and wants to at least know which way she is leaning, which is fair. And honestly, love that we get this backstory for why she became a fortune teller.
Agreed. I love that. Jan's like, I don't like second guessing shit. I need to know, which is so interesting because she just seems like a free spirit that goes with the flow. But she's like, actually, I need to know everything before it happens. That's really interesting. So she has anxiety, is what I'm getting.
Yes, she has anxiety.
Which must have made being friends with really interesting.
Yeah, but also maybe helped her understand her more too.
That's valid.
Jan continues to basically say that there was a lot of uncertainty with Officer Hottie because she had no idea how long she should wait to win her heart, especially when there was a chance that Officer Hottie would never love her back. And Jan keeps talking, and what she says next kind of confuses me.
I love it.
And makes me wonder if her relationship with Pang will last.
Yes.
Because Jan says that even though she didn't like Pang at first, she never made her worry about what would happen tomorrow, and if she was going to take a risk with someone, she would want it to be with Pang. Okay, so does this not seem like a relationship was out of convenience, and like Pang was just there with direct feelings, so Jan was like, well, I guess I will just go with you.
Yes. It sounds like at first, like, again, like Pang fell first and hardest. That is the relationship. So like, yeah, she's basically like with Pang, I didn't have to sit, like, she's cute and stuff, but like, and is very straightforward about her feelings. And there's no like uncertainty when it comes to the way she feels about me. It's not going to be this game of me chasing you potentially forever. And I guess the kiss probably helped also. She's like, oh, okay. I guess I kind of have feelings for this person. This person clearly has feelings for me. Let me just give it a shot. And then she gets to know Pang after that. That's the part she's leaving out because it's been a year. They've been together for a year. And we'll see later on in the episode, they're together for like years, plural.
Yeah, so like she must have actually loved her, but like this is making it sound like if someone better came along that she fell in love with, like she would immediately.
Yeah, it doesn't sound great, but she's explaining like in that, why did I choose Pang in that moment? It was like I saw that Pang's feelings were straightforward, and that's what I wanted. Somebody where I didn't have to guess, like, do they like me? Do they not? And that's how their relationship started.
That's fair, like about the moment.
That's what Officer Hottie's like, I don't understand that three-way kiss situation. Please explain why you picked Pang in the three-way kiss. I think that's what she's really asking in just like concise words. So it's a little confusing. That's my interpretation. If you have a different interpretation, please leave it in the comments, but that's how I'm interpreting this.
Because their kiss lasted 5 business days, Officer Hottie.
Exactly.
But kudos to Officer Hottie for just taking this all in and like accepting the information without any jealousy or resentment. Like, especially after that 3-way kiss, because
that was insane.
Again, what the hell was that?
What the hell was that?
Officer Hottie says that Jan and Pang has more in common than she thought. And she says Jan reminds her of when Pang broke up with her because Pang realized her own heart and told Officer Hottie outright and honestly.
That's true. Jan is very straightforward with how she feels also. That's true. She is like,
yeah, honestly, all 3 of them have this in common. Like, they're all pretty direct, which is a nice contrast to the other gray area trio. Because you don't know where any of them stand.
No.
But these 3 are always like, no, this is how I feel.
Yeah, it's just that like Officer Hottie was a lot like less forthcoming with words.
Yeah.
Which is fair because she of the three of them is the more introverted one, and Jan and Pang are more extroverted. So it kind of makes sense.
Officer Hottie tells Jan that she thinks she found the right person for her, and Jan tells Officer Hottie that she hopes she finds the right one too. Uma's right there, Officer Hottie. Just letting you know.
Yeah, I have to say that in my headcanon, after the quote case ends, Officer Hottie books a vacation abroad and is on the plane where she meets a sweet yet familiar looking flight attendant that she hits it off well with. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the start of and Officer Hottie story that I personally need in my life.
It sounds like the pilot that we saw of Ditto, where the one's a flight attendant.
I know, but I don't want it to be Ditto because the writer that wrote Ditto is the writer that wrote the Reverse For You series, and so some fuck shit definitely goes down there. These two, which is not a bad thing, but these two deserve better and peace, and none of that.
Yeah. But the writers Plutoed Officer Hottie, so we'll never know.
They sure did.
Pang then comes out with a wheelbarrow full of plants and greets Officer Hottie. She doesn't seem as confused to see Officer Hottie and like just asks her how everything is going.
And Pang is so bothered.
Yeah. Officer Hottie says everything is fine and she just came to thank Jan. And then Officer Hottie is like, all right, I'm out. And she excuses herself.
Love it.
Pang then does something ridiculous after Officer Hottie leaves, and she drops to Jan's level, puts her hands on either side of Jan's head, and just stares at her. And Jan is rightfully confused because what the hell is this? And she asks Pang what she is doing. And Pang says she is checking to see if there was any spark there. And you can never be too sure in this throuple.
No, I would normally I'd be like, it's jealousy, but with this throuple, you literally never know what the fuck is gonna happen next. It's always some wild fucked up shit. So like who knows what Pang was gonna do? Jan has every right to be concerned.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, like they both do. I don't even know what
she could have initiated another three-way kiss. Like you never know, okay?
It's true.
Pang's the one that started that.
Oh my gosh. So Jan tells Pang if there was a spark, then she wouldn't be working at Pang's shop. She then starts flirting / messing with Pang by saying, look at how messy the shop owner is and brushing dirt off of her. Which makes Pang start playing back and rubbing dirt onto Jan so they are messy together.
It's cute.
It's very cute.
It's very childish and fun.
Yeah. They then keep running around playfully messing with each other, and it's so sweet to see them be in love and so carefree. And my favorite part is Pang saying she is too lazy to take a shower again after Jan literally rubs dirt on her. But like, girl, you were the one who had dirt on them first.
Well, you're a fucking gardener. Like,
and like started the whole thing. Like, but look on the bright side. You both have to take a shower and you can shower together, to conserve water.
That was Jan's suggestion. I like that Jan, big gay energy Jan, jumped straight to that. She's like, we'll just shower together. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then Pang gets flustered and marches away. It was really cute. I appreciate this.
Yeah. All right. We then cut to a sweater that I can only call the boob sweater.
Thank you.
How can you see anything other than boobs?
Listen, I's publisher picks this sweater for her, but it's like, girl, who are you trying to attract to I's opening? They're like, we need to sexualize you majorly. Like, what is this? It's got 4 boobs on it. What is this sweater?
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't understand I's debate here. I like when comes in the room. She's like, "Girl, don't make that."
But someone in the production knew what they were doing here.
They sure did.
They had to have.
They sure did.
So
Anyway.
I is trying to decide between the boob sweater and a white shirt with blue cardigan on the outside. Choose the second option, I. Like, it's definitely more you than the boob sweater.
It's definitely the gayer outfit.
Yes. The boob sweater looks more like something would wear.
I don't know if would wear the boob sweater, but like she would wear something more feminine looking.
Well, more likely. Out of the two of them, if someone had to wear it, I would
be
pick
May.
May.
In an attempt to get I.
Fair. Okay, so comes in and also tells I to wear the second option. But like you said, I's editor sent her the boob sweater because she is supposed to dress formally, and apparently boob sweaters are formal.
Apparently. I do love that marches into this room and immediately knows which outfit I picked out because only one of them screams lesbian. You know what I mean? Like, I know which one you picked out. You don't need to. I got it.
I also love the fact that, like, the editor was like, yeah, she definitely doesn't own formal clothes. Let me send her something. But then sends her this.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Tells I that it is her release and she doesn't have to follow anyone's instructions, so she should just choose whatever she likes.
I love that says that. It's so cute. Yeah.
This also applies to I's life. And I think having say this foreshadows that she is also now in a place where she wants I to do what she wants in her life.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Also, in the present moment, it's like little pep talk where she's basically saying, be you, I, you are enough, which is like the thing I's wanted the whole time from her whole family. So like, it's another one. Like she got that with Mima, where Mima's like, you're a superstar, you made it. And here's basically being like, you're a big shot writer, do what you want. It's your novel. You're enough. Be you. That's enough. Like, I think that's also validating for I, like in the present moment. But you're right. This is foreshadowing.
Yeah. And after says like she should choose what she likes, I responds to saying, if you say so. Which was not the point of all of that. You're supposed to be doing whatever you want, not just because it's what said.
I'll do whatever I want because you told me to. That is insane when you say it like that, yes. But it's cute. I like this moment between them.
Then asks I if she wants any gifts, and I says no because and Mima's presence is enough. But I think you would like gift, though, I.
And I think knows that she does want a gift. She's just not going to ask for it.
Yeah. We see more evidence of acceptance that I loves her and that she's about to set her free because she thanks I because she always wanted to be the little sister that her big sister loves. And then she hugs I. And it sucks that it took something this drastic to make understand that she was loved. Like, again, Jan was right there. Just saying.
Jan was right there. I mean, again, I had to go on. We've been on this journey with I the whole time where drastic shit had to happen for I to realize she was loved also.
Yeah.
It's not just I also went on the same journey.
True.
But yes, human beings are not rational creatures as much as we think we are. Pluto the series. If I was writing a dissertation on this show, which is basically this podcast, that would definitely be in there. We're not as rational as we think we are.
We're really not.
We're not. We are really not. Like, that's one of those wisdom things you learn with age. You're like, in an ideal scenario, we are rational, but we're not. We're very much influenced by emotions and many things that are not rational. It's just part of being alive, man. Pluto was real.
That's why it's okay to pause conversations and just go back to it later when you actually have a clear head.
Yes.
When you're not in the emotion of the moment.
Yes. Agreed.
That's something therapy teaches you, by the way. Like, it's okay to pause an argument because it's not going to go anywhere if both people are just angry.
No, right. Because you just got to let the emotions run their course. Then you can speak to each other. Otherwise, nobody's listening. You're just talking at each other. And that's not a conversation.
And then it's just like hurting each other because you're just trying to
get them to be as emotional as you, because vengeance, that's where we jump to. Yeah. Right.
So then continues to thank I for letting her know how good it feels to be loved. Because out of everyone, the love the sisters have for each other is the most reciprocated relationship. Because with May, was the one more in love, and with Paul, it was Paul who loved her more. I and truly love each other the same amount. And I know May and I love each other. Yeah, but I meant for like
from point of view. Yeah. I agree with you. Yeah, that's valid for and her relationships. Yeah. I mean, throughout this show, you could argue that May and I's relationship is not reciprocal. I loves May more, honestly. Like, or at least does more actions.
Yes.
But when talking
about shows it more.
She shows it more. When talking about and connections, that's a valid read.
Yeah. And I banters that is being sweet and clingy, and it's weird. But it will make sense soon. I just wait for it. They then tell each other that they love the other, which I love. They're just so sweet.
Also, it's about time people are saying "I love you." That was also could have solved a lot of problems if we said that more often.
Yes.
Just saying. But we take for granted the constants in our lives all the time, and guilty of that too. Like,
here's a non-podcast comment challenge for you. Go tell someone that you love them. Doesn't matter who it is. Just someone you love. Just tell them you love them. Could be a friend, significant other. Could be an animal.
Yes.
I mean, tell yourself that you love them.
Tell yourself. Look in the mirror and say, "I love you."
Yeah. Do some therapy work. All right, so we cut to May finally reading I's novel. And I's story is basically a retelling of the night where I walked away from May, and May was left crying, calling out for her, just hoping she would return. We then get a quick shot of I placing the journal at May's door, and I assume I texted Tan to let him know it was there, which is why he said she left it with him. And then next we get a shot of I stalking May when Casal gave her the novel. So I got to see May's smile when she was handed the book. And there is also a small smile on I's face, along with this loving look that just shows that she hasn't stopped loving or thinking about her. And she did get to see her. She did see her.
Yep. So you already broke. So again, you broke promise.
She did technically break this ultimatum. But they didn't see each other.
Right.
So you mean stalking wasn't off the table this whole time?
Gotta give it to I. I always breaks the rules. Always.
And the passage that May is reading ends with, "Because we promised each other that our love would cause no pain to anyone." And this is exactly what May said to when they met. And another reason I assume finally realized that they deserve to be together, because here is May holding up her end of the promise she shared with I, and I's book is evidence of that promise.
Yeah. So that must mean a lot to when was like, "Oh shit, hasn't read the book and she's quoting the book back to me," basically.
Yeah.
Because again, there's a scene in the river with the prince and his sister and the love interest, and Oom's like, "This is definitely about us." So yeah. 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 But I think it's also significant that that's the part that May reads out loud, because May's reading it in like a public space and she reads that last line out loud. The promise part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So we then cut to I's book signing.
We sure do.
Yep. And there's a line, and Meemaw is the first to get her book signed, and she is so happy and proud of I. And like this scene really warms my heart, and I'm so glad that I is getting a day where she can feel the love from everyone, and like the attention is truly meant for her in a positive way. Meemaw wishes I success, that like the book will become a bestseller and be reprinted over and over. And I responds that a wish from beautiful ladies always come true. And like this is such a nice banter from I this time.
I know.
Insulting Meemaw.
It's cute.
But still banter nonetheless. And Meemaw tells her to just sign it already.
Can we talk about the fact that I love in the beginning of the scene that Meemaw and hold up the line for like 5 solid minutes and they live with the author?
Yeah.
Like you could have done this at home. And they literally are first in line and there's a huge line and they're holding up the line. I just find that so fucking funny. I'm like, you live with her. Like these poor people are waiting in line.
So, like the people in line, I feel so bad, especially
Me too. I feel bad for them.
Later. Because they're probably just standing there and like they get 5 seconds with her.
Right. And like they hold up the line for 5 minutes. It just makes me laugh because I'm like, you live with her. You can do this at home. But they're there for support. They're there for support, but like we didn't have to hold up the line for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Like I get them being first to get their book signed, but not like this whole conversation.
Right. That's what I mean. Yeah. The whole conversation that holds up the line. Yeah, exactly.
This could have been the breakfast table conversation.
I know. It just makes me laugh because if you really think about it, it's really funny and sad for the people in line.
Yeah. But I love part the best of all because she hands her book to I to sign and then tells her that when she is famous one day, she's going to sell it.
Good job, See, cheeky too. Yes. Cheeky bastard.
I tells her that she's exaggerating, but points out that so many fans of her book has come to this event and are literally waiting forever.
Because of you guys.
Because of you.
Because of you. They can't stray too far from the source. Because of you.
Oh my god. All right, so also says that today must be the happiest day for her. And this is when I quickly gives the book back to And there is still a smile on I's face, but I'm sure she is thinking how much happier this day would be if May was here with her, because she was supposed to be here and by her side. Because she would have been.
Yes. And she wrote the book for May.
Yes.
So she would have been happier if she could have been with May the whole time, but you know, she can't say that or won't say that.
Yeah. I then signed some more fans' books and they are just giving her a bunch of compliments. And you know, she does need to hear these because she doesn't have a big ego yet.
Absolutely. Yet.
Yeah. Until the next person comes to get their book signed. And I doesn't even look up at them until they speak. Okay. And once they start speaking, I recognizes May's voice instantly. But also, can we just take a second to talk about how I didn't look up at all? Like, I know this whole thing was for like the May reveal, but I feel like I wouldn't have been that rude to people who showed up for her. Like, she would have greeted them, made eye contact, and then signed it.
I agree.
So this is definitely just for effect, but definitely would not have happened like this.
Yeah, she was looking at the other people, all the people that came before May. Yeah,
she would not do this.
But
also, I feel like you see the line. I feel like she would have seen May, unless May just like
that, like hiding.
We don't see May though. I feel like she just cut in front of somebody. I was just like, it's my turn now.
She absolutely would do that. Let's be honest. But also, okay, when it cuts to May, this is when I feel bad for May because she seems scared when she's in this line. So I would imagine if she was waiting in the line, she would have been hiding, so I couldn't see her because she's scared. Like she's clearly scared when it cuts to her.
Yeah, I mean, you have no idea how anybody's going to react in this situation.
No.
Anyway, May tells I her book is amazing, and I is frozen for a couple seconds because this couldn't possibly be who she thinks it is. But once she looks up, like it is May, and May continues to say she thinks she should change the ending, though, because she would love to see a happy ending.
Preaching to the choir, as a avid queer person that watches queer media, more happy endings, please. Less trauma, please.
Yeah.
More rom-coms.
More rom-coms, that'd be great. Please. I would love that.
The world is actual hell. Let's put some art out there that's fun.
And this whole thing is very slow, and I is just like staring at May. And in the background, you see the nice person swaying back and forth. And like, and I'm sure they're like, what is taking so long? And
what's
also
all these
May cut right in front of them.
Yeah, I know. She cut in front of him, and he's like, what is I was next.
And May asks, what do you think? And I does not respond right away because this woman is still in shock. And this causes May's face to fall because maybe I didn't want her after all. But
well, no, it's not that. It's like, again, she's going to choose right? Because she's like, I can't because of and then I love Oom's reaction is the best.
Yeah, my favorite part of this whole thing is when we cut to and Meemaw, who are also like, what the hell is about to happen?
What is happening?
Because at the one point when they're just staring at her, Meemaw's face is everything because she's just like,
this again?
like, oh my god, I'm going to be comforting at least one twin tonight.
I know, yeah. She's like, there we go again. Mima has the chalkboard at home that's like X number of days since one of my granddaughters has cried over May. Like, she's like, God, I gotta have to erase that. It's been 365 days and now I gotta go back to 0.
And it definitely hasn't been, but Mima hasn't seen them cry.
No, yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh. Okay, but seeing that I was not reacting and knowing that I did all this for her, starts to go to them, but Meemaw pulls her back and tells her to stay calm and not do anything rash. And I'm sure Meemaw got a retelling of the kidnapping and everything.
Oh my god,
happened.
Yeah.
And Meemaw had no idea what the hell planned to do here.
She's like, please chill. Go to your happy
place.
Please
don't do anything crazy. So then gently removes Meemaw's hand and walks away from her, leaving her to just hope her granddaughter doesn't do anything stupid. Could have said, it will be fine, Meemaw. But no one tells Meemaw what is happening either, so.
No.
Walks up saying, what did you just say? And it sounds very accusatory and not something that indicates that this is going to be a good conversation.
No.
Not at all.
Not at all.
And May tells her that the ending is too sad. And then her face is the most sincere she has ever looked. And she asked not I, if it could be changed.
This is between us,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And decides to stick with her intimidating act and tells May that it's too late for that. And seems to be having too much fun with this, and she likes to see May sweat.
She does. But what she is saying is that, we can't change the past. You can't change a book that's already been written. Yeah.
Yeah. And May looks upset while I also not happy, is just waiting for what is about to happen because
I is like, what the fuck is this?
Something's going down. Like, this is supposed to be my day.
I know.
Of course, this has to happen.
Me. You guys are making it about you, as always.
Not everything's about you guys.
I
Come on.
Seriously. Why can't we have one day that's about I?
This is why everything should have happened after the signing.
Correct. Why must
be the last people in line?
Why must May and always make this about themselves? Because they share a brain cell. May and share a brain cell. And I think they both know it and they hate that.
Yeah. May finally puts everyone out of their misery, quite literally. By telling I she's going to have to start writing a new one and choose the ending she wants because she wants to see the author finally happy.
Yes, I choose the ending you want. Don't just choose the ending gave you permission to choose. Yes. Like you did with the outfits. Although is giving you permission to choose her. You know what? Do what you want.
Just if you don't want to write another book, don't write another book.
You want to make a movie? Make a movie. Do what you want.
Also apologizes to I for making her choose.
Yes.
And she also says that all this time she has received enough love from I, but now it's time for her to return that love, and I should do what her heart desires.
Yes.
So now everyone is happy, and May looks to I hopeful.
She looks to and then to I, yeah.
Yeah, to then to I. I nods her head thanks to and then Mima nods her head in approval, like, thank God.
Yes, like, thank God. Is this finally fucking over? Like, God damn it.
Yeah, if Mima finally doesn't have to worry about her twins for one day.
Mima's like, if you don't marry this woman, what the hell was this all for?
It's also like that I'm stuck with May as a granddaughter.
Seriously, like, God damn it. I think Mima was just really proud of She was like, good job, That was brave.
The healing.
It took a lot of courage that you just did. Like, you did it.
Yeah, like, this might be one of the most proudest moments for Mima to see her granddaughter grow and let her sister be happy.
Yes, I agreed. Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, at least that's what it seems like. By the way, Mima pulls her close to her and, like, gives her this beaming smile.
I also like little subtle, like, go ahead. I like the.
It's like, do it.
She's like, do it. Do it. Get the girl. Go on. Get your princess.
I finally looks back to May and then signs her book and hands it to her.
I do wonder if she writes. I feel like you should have taken the time to write something else in there besides your name. But you know what? I don't know you. Yeah,
you would think that she'd be like, to my love that I've never gotten over.
Meet me out back in 20 minutes. You know what I mean?
I get off in 20.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But of course their hands have to brush and linger because it has been a whole year without them being able to be close to each other.
Oh yeah, this was deliberate on May's part because I just gives her the book and it's May is the one that boldly takes I's hand.
Yeah.
And holds them. And then I does the thumb rubbing thing to be like, this is reciprocated. That was on purpose. That was not an accidental hand brush. Yes. Good for them. I mean, it's been a year.
And they smile at each other, and the rest is history.
Or is it?
And legend says that the person behind May is still waiting to get their book signed.
Yeah, because, like, I probably ends the book signing right then and there, and that poor person that was in line is like, I gotta wait for the next book.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, legend definitely has it that the rest of that line didn't get to get their book autographed. Fucking May. But good for them. They all made up. Good job, Mima can sleep easy at night now. Poor Officer Hottie. Who knows what the fuck she's actually going through? Her kid. I still can't believe they did that shit. I know! I know, like, some more details. What case? Anyway. Okay, so with that, before we wrap up this part of the episode, Big Gay Energy Award. Jan.
That's all we had to do.
Jan's,
but also,
let's shower together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the ultimate. Also, I writing books just to communicate with.
I's really extreme letter writing stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. That was Big Gay Energy. Also, being like, I've been spying on you, bitch, for a year, and you didn't even know. Big Gay Energy. I see she'd be perfect with a police officer.
Yes.
I'm just saying. They could have been petrichor. Damn.
Yes.
And would not stay in her lane, but she'd be better about it than Dr. Run. Anyway. Taylor Swift songs. What Taylor Swift songs do you have for this part of the episode?
I'm gonna go with I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. Because they both kept going, even though their heart was broken.
That's valid. I'm gonna go with This Love, because this love is good. This love is bad. This love is a light back from the dead. These hands had to let it go free. This love came back to me. That's basically the year they were apart and then the reunion for like everybody. Like all the loves were good and bad and everything in between, and they reconcile at the end. So
yeah.
And I just love that song. It's a beautiful song.
It is. It's such a good song.
It's a great song. And great part of the episode. So we will be back next time to conclude our journey of Pluto, the series scene by scene breakdown. Thank you again for coming along with us as we've been doing this. And we got one more to go, guys. I hope it doesn't disappoint you. And until then, hydrate for lesbian Jesus.
And gay it up all over the place.
Bye. And with that, we've been Big Gay Energy. If you like this episode, check out all our other episodes right here on YouTube.
Please like, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more amazing super gay content.